pick.
Can you pause the draft?
Well, there's no reason to. He's got 5 minutes. The recording started. You ready?
Well, all right, I guess. Unfortunately,
I don't know how to pause it, dude.
I was unprepared. Welcome to the Ohio State Mind Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Chen. On the other side of me is Joshua Keatley. We've got a special show for you today. We are going to be live drafting 5 teams, right? A 5-team.
You're not going to introduce our boy?
Big Ten only. I was getting there. I just want to make sure. I was just, kind of laying the groundwork about what we're doing. So obviously we're going to do a 5-team Big Ten only college football fantasy league. Here's the issue with this, Josh. You're going to see all of who you're going to pick. I guess it doesn't matter, right?
Does it matter?
Anyways,
I got on my phone too.
Chris, I don't know your last name. What's your last name, Chris?
My last name's Runyon, but it's all right.
Okay. All right. Well, Chris Runyon is joining us as well. We also expect Brock and Donovan at some point in time. Yeah, they have not joined us yet, but we do anticipate their presence at some point. Now, I don't know, Josh, can we get 5 visual face screens on here? I've only done 3. I've only done 3 before, so I'm not 100% sure on that with the screen sharing. I think you can do it without the screen sharing, but I guess we're about to find out today.
We are about to find out. We may be itty bitty.
Yeah, itty bitty.
Let me go ahead and share this stuff on Facebook and all that.
Well, like I said earlier, being the newcomer,
Chris, just spoil it.
To being the newcomer to the podcast, I assumed this was charity, and this is a charity in which I will fully accept. And with my first pick, you can't go broke taking a profit. Dillon Gabriel's got a bajillion weapons around him. He's got 2 stud wide receivers, 2 stud running backs. He's got a great tight end. If I'm not mistaken, he's got Justin Herbert's little brother as a backup tight end as well.
That is correct.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think it's a no-brainer here. I got to go Dillon Gabriel. And he's on the team.
Well, that's a little bit of an upset pick, right? Was he I don't have it up. I'm on the social medias. But what was he rated on the little board?
He was second on the board.
Oh, so never mind.
It's not a huge reach. And
no,
then top of the board was Minnesota running back Darius Taylor, who apparently left practice today, or yesterday. I'm sorry, with an injury. So yeah, let's see what the limping with ice on his leg.
Oof. So we got to sit here for 4 goddamn minutes because Donovan's not here.
Yeah. They're still
the 5-minute thing was a good idea when I thought, because I was like, we're going to intro it, we're going to have the big board up, we're going to do all this, and everybody's going to be here. But now that I didn't know that the second pick wasn't going to be here on time, so let me see. Should I speed it up? That's fucked up, right?
Let's give him some time and see, because you're next, so we only got 4 minutes left. So
that's true.
Let's get in some. What's rumbling around camp this week, huh?
Well, you know what? I'm cool with giving Donovan time, anyways, because honest to God, I was going to take Darius Taylor. So if Donovan's not here, the computer's going to take that for him.
Right.
So I'm all for
unless he queued up some players.
Yeah, right. That does not sound like Donovan.
I mean, I queued up some players the other day because I wanted to be somewhat prepared for this.
Well, Donovan doesn't work ahead of time.
Well, he's got 3 minutes. Otherwise, he's getting Darius Taylor.
Well, so we could do the. So what the rumblings, Chris, the rumblings. Well, I mean, I guess honestly, if we're talking about the biggest Ohio State news, I hate to say it, it's definitely Michael Hall Jr., right? I mean, I know he's not at Ohio State anymore, thank God. But in the Ohio State atmosphere, it's got to be. I mean, this is a guy that This is a guy who everybody praised as a high character guy. So I think it's pretty out of character for him. But this is also a guy, I was on a podcast early in the year where the Browns drafted him. I said, this was a bad pick. This is a guy who never lived up to the expectations or his physical potential that he had at Ohio State. But, I mean, that's football talk. This is an off-the-field issue. This is a serious concern. So that's pretty awful, right? We don't want to see these guys represent, you represent Ohio State even when you leave, right? So the stuff that he's being accused of doing, which it's pretty damning evidence.
Not great.
Not great.
I mean, I did see that he practiced with the Browns today, so they clearly haven't done anything about it. They're probably going to wait for, the courts and to see how this plays out. But yeah, no, the optics are just absolutely horrendous about that. Another thing, Chris, with training camp, there were rumors that Ryan Day was going to announce who his starting quarterback was this week. I thought it was going to happen today. I have not seen anything. So my assumption is that at this point in time, so late in the evening or early evening, I don't think we're going to hear who's the starter. It would surprise me if it's anybody but Will. Let's be real here.
Yeah, I think he pretty much he did everything but announce it officially, right? He's at this point they're just kind of playing games.
Yeah, I think he'll make an official announcement. I think he wants to. It seems like he does. I don't know what his media availability schedule is for right now. I don't know. I do know the Buckeyes practice today. But like I said, I did not see anything that said that he named a starter.
No, but everybody's known he's the starter since last Thursday. Last Thursday he had a really good practice. Played a lot more than Devin. It seems like it's his own teammates are saying it's a done deal. So I don't even really think I need an announcement at this point, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, Ivan Valentino at NFL Draft Study on Twitter /X is saying that Ryan Day was supposed to do it tomorrow. So.
Very cool.
We'll see.
Cool.
We'll see what happens.
Very cool.
We'll see what happens.
Whoa! He did pick someone.
Is he here? Is Donovan even here?
Donovan definitely made a pick, unless he
that or he had someone queued up. Yeah.
Right. Like I said, can you tell whether it was Drew Aller? Okay, that was a shock. All right, Josh, talk to us about your process here then, since your number one guy is still there.
Yeah, so Darius Taylor, I mean, there's really not much to even say. We've done our top 10 running backs list, right? It's not like this is a talent that, I'm going to sell my soul for. We're not talking about a guy like Saquon Barkley or anything in the Big Ten, but we are talking about a guy that is very talented in an offense that caters to the running back, right? We're talking about the minute he's going to be running behind a very impressive offensive line. Who was the offensive tackle we were talking about a couple weeks ago? Ariante, easily, or was that his name? Something along those lines.
I believe so.
Yeah, he's the best one. That's an All-American talent. And there's some other guys that are going to be fighting for all Big Ten. The passing game should be a little bit better for Minnesota, which should allow the run game, not as many people to pack the box. So yeah, that's who I'm going to go with. Again, this is not a guy who. This is more like all those Texans. You remember those Texans years where everybody drafted Arian Foster first, and everybody knew he wasn't the most talented running back in the NFL, right? But he played an offense that really allowed him to do whatever he wanted. So there you go, Darius Taylor. I don't care about the injury. I heard it was just a bump and bruise, right? You're going to have that, right? If we did that every time, if we avoided someone every time they got bumped and bruised, no one would ever have TreVeyon Henderson. And I fully expect TreVeyon Henderson to get drafted. So, right?
Yeah, Henderson's going to get drafted. Now, I'm on the clock here, and my conundrum at the current moment is, do I take the running back that I want, or because there's already been a run on quarterbacks, do I go with a quarterback? So that's my dilemma at the current moment. I think I would be potentially reaching for a quarterback at this point in time. So I'm leaning towards the running back position. I think there's a lot of depth at wide receivers, so that's a position that I'll probably address it a little bit. I'm gonna take Judkins.
Like I said, I'd argue. I mean, you've got 5 minutes before your next pick, anyhow. I mean, you're going to go back to back almost.
Right, almost. So
Well,
Brock's
10
got
minutes maybe.
right. Yeah, Brock's got double pick here. So as long as he doesn't, I might go quarterback in with this next pick. So we'll see.
So you guys are going to have to kind of fill me in on the draft board. I have to keep my screen little teeny tiny because in case someone logs in, I have to be able to add them. So as far as like what the board looks like, I'm using my phone to draft, but there's no like board, if that makes sense. Like it gives me like a recommendation of like 3 guys. So yeah, I mean, I'm cool with Quinshawn. There's really no arguing. We know all the plus sides, right? He's one of the most talented running backs in the country, maybe the most talented running back in the country. I don't think anybody, even a non-Ohio State fan, would argue against that. The con is Trevion Henderson, right? That's
but I think that, he's more the Thunder than the Lightning, so I think he's going to poach a couple touchdowns from Henderson closer to the goal line.
I would agree with that. I would.
That was my I wasn't necessarily. I was also considering Jordan James there. So it was between James and Judkins there.
Well, let's take a poll.
Oh, there's an interesting pick. I did not have him that high on my board.
Am I wrong to think? Am I right or am I wrong here? USC goes to LSU week 1.
I think it's week 1.
Oof.
I don't know. I think they go to LSU though. It is away, correct?
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
They're going to the Bayou.
No, it's in Vegas.
Double SC picks. Zachariah
it's in Vegas.
All right. Well, I don't want to do this, but
so can I ask a quick question while you're thinking it over, Mike?
Yeah.
What in my opinion, I agree with you. The argument's Quinshawn Judkins versus Trevion Henderson. In my opinion, I agree with you. Quinshawn Judkins over Trevion Henderson as far as a fantasy football argument goes.
100%.
Chris, where are you at on this argument?
It boils down to just like Mike said. Hey, is he going to steal some of those red zone touches, or is it going to be a sense like, hey, who's the one that's going to show off earlier in the season their pass catching abilities, those little dump downs to get Will Howard warm and acclimated to the offense? I mean, it's a glass half full kind of thing, and it's whoever's got the hot hand. It might be an old Belichick thing. Who's got the hot hand this week? They're going to both get catches or carries regardless.
We might be looking at a Jonas Gray Rex Burkhead situation. We do
right.
You can't go wrong.
The old Cornhusker, right?
Yeah. Miller Moss, you guys
made
like the Miller Moss?
My pick there.
Who we got? I can't read, dude.
I took Tez Johnson.
Tez Johnson. Okay. That's in my opinion, that was the best wide receiver on the board. That was my wide receiver number 1. Chris, where are you at? You agree with that as well?
Oh yeah, I've got Tez Johnson, best wide receiver in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I just felt like at that point in time a quarterback was a reach because they're all kind of, bunched together at this point in time.
I'd like to go back and talk about the Miller Moss pick as well, since I got some time.
Sure.
That was you guys kind of laughed at it a little bit. I noticed a little bit of facial movement there. I like Miller Moss was my number 2 quarterback.
Okay.
Do you guys disagree with that or agree with that?
I would say probably not. I think I had let's see where I think I had Howard second.
Interesting. Chris, where are you at with
he's still out there.
I like Will Howard. I think Will Howard has got the shit end of the deal. I mean, I think he was a great quarterback, and now he's here in Washington. Miller Moss, though, like I said, LSU week 2, and at the same time is the backup. Who is his name? Maivia. Are they still chomping at the bit in camp?
Maivia. That's true. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and take Will Howard because
I don't know.
I would take Jordan James.
I don't know.
Taking Jordan James. I'm going to get my 2 starting running backs. To me, that was
back
in my opinion. I got the number 1 and number 2 running back, so I feel pretty good.
Wouldn't argue it.
Yeah, good. Yeah. You've shored up that position, and you can move on to other stuff. Makes plenty of sense.
Yeah, I mean, Michael. I mean, you talked about Jordan James. I mean, there's no argument. The guy is.
Oh, he's great.
Maybe
he's
not.
awesome. I think he's really good.
Yeah. very similar to the last pick. I think as far as talent goes, he's obviously a step below the other guys we've talked about. But I mean, as far as the offense, the production, what we can expect, and his talent, I feel like it's okay. It's a good pick.
Lots of ducks coming off the board early.
Lots of ducks come off the board. Yeah, Chris, what are you thinking about the Oregon Ducks? I mean, you obviously took Dillon Gabriel, so you led the draft off with the very first Oregon Duck. Were you planning on doing a masterful stack? Is this fucking up your plans, or you still feel pretty good?
No, I'm habitually that guy that I sit and I look at my bye weeks. I'm like, how many guys do I gotta sit on a week? You know?
Oh shit!
But
okay,
I guess I should...
you're like, oh, maybe I should look at that.
You son of a bitch! I just realized that James and Taylor are both out week 3.
There we go.
Is that why you said that? Did you notice that before I did?
I was eyeballing it. I might have been inkling it.
That's actually why I stayed away from a Buckeye with my second pick. I didn't want the same.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess I lost the league already. Fun guys. Guys, this is fun.
But
fucking dicks, dude.
Let's be real though. When it came to Dillon Gabriel, I'm like, I would argue he's probably the second best returning quarterback in the country. I probably put him behind Carson Beck for the experience alone.
God, Dillon Gabriel was. I want to be very clear. I don't want to go too crazy. Dillon Gabriel was my number one quarterback, fantasy football wise as well. Mike, I assume he was yours too, or no?
Yep, he was third on my draft board, first quarterback. Yep.
Yeah, but as far as talent goes, I just felt like he was. I don't know. I just something about him. I feel like he's overrated. I wish Brock was on the show because Brock kind of backed me up on this for some reason. You think that them being both Hawaiian dudes that they would stick together, but he believes that Dillon Gabriel's a tad overrated as well. He was really good at UCF, but then the competition stepped up when he went to the Big 12, and he was very good. But it always felt like something was missing. Is what I'm describing making sense at all?
He's maybe missing an attribute here or there. Maybe that big step up in competition. Grinding in the fourth quarter. I don't know. Could be.
Man, like it's almost like a
little speed.
Hey, Brock, how you doing, buddy?
Adjustment.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Hey,
doing good, man. You out driving around? What you doing? There's no camera.
Yeah, let's call it. I'm currently in my taxi cab, so I'm just pulling out the lot.
Well, bro, if you want to just draft, you don't have to be on the show with us, man. That's okay with us. I don't want to distract you.
Oh no, you're all good. I just came out to say hello and see what's going on.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that. We were just talking about Dillon Gabriel. It almost feels like God, I just don't know how to describe it. Like you know those quarterbacks that always come around draft time where they get a little bit of first round hype and then they fall. Like I don't know. It just feels like something's missing there. Oh, Evan Stewart. That's who I was going to pick. That's a really good pick.
Good pick. That's a good pick.
And
that's a good pick.
I think he was the
Yeah, all the elite weapons. Yep. I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's a little run on Ducks early on.
Well, I think that Evan Stewart was the clear-cut number 2 wide receiver in the Big Ten. Again, I want to be very clear. All this is fantasy projections, right? I think he's the clear-cut number 2 fantasy wide receiver in the Big Ten because Oregon's just going to dish it, in my opinion. Does anybody disagree with that?
No.
I think they're going to put up a lot of points. Wouldn't surprise me to see them average around 40.
Chris, were you thinking about taking Evan Stewart if he was going to be there?
There was no chance in hell that Tez Johnson would have made it to me. He was who I was after, but obviously Stewart and the numbers he put up at A&M, I'd love to. But again, I'm that old curmudgeon when it comes to doubling up on bye weeks, man. You're taking away my weapons from me.
Yep, I get it. I get it, especially early on. Maybe later on in the draft, right, Chris? You might double up on a guy that you're probably looking at as more of a backup, maybe some depth.
Yeah.
Right. But early on, you do want to kind of mix and match what your bye weeks are to make sure that you're not giving away a full week.
Now, the conundrum I'm in currently with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left is I love Travion Henderson, but hey, again, we said he's going to split carries. At the same time, do I go Donovan Edwards, who is going to see an uptick in the workload? He's going to take a lot more hits. He's going to have to be the guy. So
Speaking of Donovan.
Heyo.
Yeah, I didn't know we were doing this live.
Again,
No,
if no one wants to be on here, you just let us know. But yeah,
No, you're
more
good,
than
bro.
merrier.
I didn't
Chris
know.
was going over his.
I don't check
Chris
my.
is. Oh, okay. My bad. Chris is currently debating who to take here with his for his pick in the second round here.
So, with that being said, and looking at the time I've got before another pick, I'm gonna have to gamble. I'm gonna go Donovan.
I like it, dude. I was really mulling over taking him, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
And
that was someone that I was thinking about taking with my next pick.
And really to set myself up for success and not be, stuck out on the pond all lonesome. I'm gonna probably piss some people off. I'm gonna have to go Emeka Mbuka next pick.
Ooh, you son of a bitch, dude! My list is getting shorter of like studs that I really wanted, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, Emeka Mbuka again. I feel like very clearly the third that was the best receiver left on the board. Very clearly, right?
Yep.
I gotta get the getting when the getting's good.
Does anybody disagree with that, or
no? I think that's exactly spot on.
Pretty universal thought.
When you're kind of looking at who else is available, there's a significant drop off between the top 6 guys and then everybody else.
Yeah.
So,
very interesting. I like the Donovan Edwards pick too. Like I said, I have 2 running backs, but I was definitely circling him because, again, with best ball, you don't know who's going to pop. And to act like he's not going to get multiple 250-yard rushing games is just utterly insane, especially when they're trying to get Orgy acclimated to, playing in the Big Ten, starting in the Big Ten. They're just going to feed that monster with their preseason, their non-conference schedule, and even with some of the, lower-level competition. So he's going to have some games where he might get 50 fantasy points, which is entirely possible in college fantasy.
Right.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think my biggest thing is if he happens to be on the sidelines for week 1, NCAA is still ruling on that. It doesn't hurt having a former offensive line coach as your head coach.
Yep. He's gonna, where his allegiance is gonna lie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of where we're at.
Donovan,
very
talk us through the process.
Yeah, Donovan, what you got going on, buddy?
Wait, it cut out a little bit. I'm sorry, I can't hear you guys. Say that again.
What you thinking, buddy? What you thinking over? Who you narrowing it down to?
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to log in my my MacBook instead of being on I was on my phone. And that's when I checked. I was like, oh damn, they're like live doing this right now, like for real. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to look at who was the last pick? I'm trying to log in right now.
Emeka
Mbuka.
Emeka Mbuka. Okay, from Ohio State. Okay, got it. I'm figuring this is going to be a very heavy Ohio State draft.
I mean, has it been though, guys? I mean, Donovan,
not necessarily.
Let me know if this draft is looking biased so far. I mean, obviously, you would think that there would be Ohio State picks because two guys on here,
I picked. I'm still trying to. Yeah, I've never been on this website. Okay, cool. I picked Evan Stewart and Drew Aller. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Brock, I gotta kick you out, dude. You sound like you're in a helicopter, bro.
Me?
Oh, no, my bad. I thought I was on.
No,
okay.
Dude.
Sorry, my dog is. Okay, yeah, I'm about to pick. I know. I'm sorry. I was just hold. Give me 1 second. I got my pick. I'm gonna go
Travion
Henderson. So you made fun of us for being Buckeye homers, and then you took the Buckeye. Did you do that?
No, I wasn't making fun of you. I just assumed since you and Michael are on the show, that it would be. I haven't even seen. I know Judkins got picked. I was gonna pick him, but obviously he got picked in the first round. But no, I mean I tried to have balance. I got Penn State, Oregon, Ohio State. But
there you go.
I'm a big. I know people are probably like, "Why did you pick Drew Aller so high?" He probably made fun of me for that, but I really think he's had a huge year. So I think he's going to throw a lot of. I think he's going to be a Heisman contender. I think he should be in New York. So
He was actually my sleeper guy. I was kind of looking at him in the fourth, fifth round type of area. So I understand it. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, Will Pauling, he's going to get the targets. I mean, they got a new offense that revolves around the passing game, and
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, he's the best wide receiver left on the board by a pretty large margin. So that's who I kind of went with. I'm interested in you said a fourth round type. I mean, I guess that's not too far off, right? That's the next round. So
Right.
I feel like we're probably in the same ballpark as far as that. Does anybody disagree with the Will Pauling pick, or everybody's pretty happy with that? Okay.
No.
Yeah. All right.
Again, there's probably more talented guys on the board, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, I talked him up a lot when we did our running back rankings, and I think Rutgers is not going to throw the ball at all. They're going to run the ball a lot, so he's going to get the lion's share of carries. So I like that mix there.
Yeah, man. Again, far and away, my board, the best running back left. I had him circled for a guy that I was going to try to snag as well. I mean, does anybody disagree? Anybody surprised by that pick?
No.
The only bad part is that Judkins and Monagai both have third week spots, so that might be rough. That might be a rough week for me.
I think that Rutgers is going to be better than most people expect too. I mean, they're always a pretty tough out. Their new quarterback too. What's his name? Melikamiki Maka, the transfer from Minnesota. The Greek water pistol or whatever they call them. Yeah. And he was not very good last year. I know that they're saying that he's going to be better than the last guy, which was Gavin Wimsatt, who he was pretty bad. Wimsatt was pretty bad. He ran around really well.
He was committed to Ohio State at one point in time, I believe. Yeah,
that really surprises me actually because he's not good.
No.
But he is athletic, so maybe someone saw something. So who's off the board? So is that Daniel Jackson I see?
That is. No. It is. Brock is going back to back now here too as well.
We've talked about Michael and I have talked about Daniel Jackson a million times on this podcast. He's the guy that I saw live in person, was absolute physical freak. Always seems to be hurt though.
Yeah.
Got a running back off the board. Jonah Coleman from Washington.
Well, I was thinking about that the Jackson pick, even with injuries in a Minnesota offense, when he got over 100 targets last year at least.
Yep.
Something like that, yeah. So why not?
Well, he's got I don't want to say first round, but he's got early round draft talent. He's big, he's tall, he's fast. He just always gets beat up. Last year the quarterback sucked. So they got that Bosmer coming in. That's a guy that was slung it at New Hampshire. Again, it's Minnesota, so you think they're gonna definitely revolve the offense around the run. But I there's gonna be one guy. Somebody's got to get targets, right? You can't run it every play. So I think that Jackson's probably the play. Jonah Coleman, I think that's an interesting pick as well. I don't think Washington's going to be very good. I know Michael loves them. Michael thinks they're going to be pretty solid. Yep. In my opinion, though, the offense is still going to – Jet Fish knows what he's doing, so it's going to go through somebody. And if it is going to go through the run game, it is going to be Coleman. Coleman is, there's no doubt, one of the most talented running backs in the Big Ten. It's just you got to figure out that offensive line is going to do anything for you. When that kid left for Alabama, that really, really hurt them. I can't remember his name now.
Mm-hmm.
You guys hear that feedback, or is that just on my end?
Oh, not getting any of that.
You're not getting any feedback? All right, cool.
No, I can't hear it.
All right, cool. Chris, what do you got any feedback? You hear any crinkling?
No, I'm not hearing anything else.
All right, cool. Just making sure. I want to make sure people can listen to it.
No, Washington, though, like I said, they're not expected to be good, but hey, it's going to be fun to watch Jed because, like I said, he's Jed Lasso. You saw what he did at Arizona. So.
Yeah, man. But the thing about what he did at Arizona, and Donovan probably knows this better than I, is that he recruited extremely well, right? So he had Fafita, T-Mac, and then the kid on the defensive side of the backfield. And it's like, but as far as like schemes go, we're not looking at a guy who kind of, I don't know who's the head coach at Texas State, the former quarterback.
GJ Kinney, right?
Yeah, GJ Kinney, like that guy. It feels like he transforms wherever he goes immediately. I don't know if Fish is going to be able to do that at Washington because the transfer portal just destroyed whatever talent he.
Agreed.
Oh,
Okay.
Mike going with another running back.
Well, they're back. I didn't like the wide receivers. I think it's still too early to grab a quarterback because I think they're all kind of meh at this point in time. So I've got two backs that were out in the third week, so I need another one to jump in one of those spots.
Okay. And what made you pick the guy from Illinois?
I know Fegan. So I know him through some recruiting connects. I know he's a big dude. Illinois doesn't throw the ball also, so clearly I'm looking at Rutgers and Illinois as teams that are more run heavy in their offense. So they're real, and they don't necessarily feature a ton of two backs in their systems just due to the fact that they don't have the depth at those positions. So I feel like Fegan's going to get a lot of run for the Illini as and especially as they hit Big Ten. I mean, Brett Bielema loves to run the damn ball, and he's shown that he can produce some high level running backs. Look at Chase Brown a couple of years ago; he was really really good, and I think Fegan is as good or better than Chase Brown. So I'm expecting a big season for him.
Why went with Denzel Boston? We talked about the Washington offense. Jeff Fish is going to try to do something. Denzel Boston, we saw glimpses of what he could do a little bit last year. Washington just had so much talent that he wasn't really able to shine. He's going to be the focal point of the receiving end of that offense. So I feel like there's a pretty decent gap between him and the rest of the wide receivers. He's kind of the last clear-cut number. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I just feel like there's a pretty sizable gap. So that's what I was thinking there. Mike, I know that you're a big Washington guy, so I figured that you might like this pick. I don't know, though, because we don't really talk about Boston a lot. I think even you had another Washington wide receiver over him in our wide receiver rankings.
Yeah, I like Jeremiah Hunter a little bit more than I like Boston just because of the experience factor. I think that plays a big role, especially in the college game. When you get a guy who has played, they're not going to have that, I get like little mini slumps in games, out of games, or consecutive games. I think the experience factor plays a lot into that. And that's why, again, Boston's very talented. He could be a really, really good player, but the experience to me, he lacks in that area. And, I probably would have taken Hunter over him.
Interesting. Okay, that's fair. Chris, what do you think about Boston?
Hey, I'm going to go with Mike on this one. For the experience, I'm going to take the senior over the sophomore.
Always. Yeah.
I'll remember that later.
And there he goes. Damn it.
That's a really good pick right there, Donovan. Why don't you go a little bit in depth on why you made that choice?
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously this guy was killing it in the Sun Belt for the past few years. James Madison and the FCS down there, and he's their main target. I think Indiana's a pretty solid team. Like, I think they're a little. I don't know if they're underrated per se. I guess they're in the middle of the pack of the Big Ten. Obviously, you might drop down a little bit with new teams at it, but I like their offense. I like what they've done. I like what they're doing in recruiting. They might land Julian Lewis too, so that'd be cool. But I don't think that will actually happen. But
that's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. It's like insane to me to think that Lewis could potentially end up in Indiana. Like,
yeah, that would
be
nuts,
right.
That
I mean, like,
insane.
so Donovan? Let's get a little bit into his recruitment right now. So it looks like there's two teams that are making a charge. Indiana, and who was the other team?
I'll say Auburn.
Auburn, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, still committed to USC. What's your confidence rating on him sticking with the Trojans?
I'd probably put it at like 60%. Thing I know about Julian, like living in Georgia and covering his games at Carrollton since he was 14. A few years ago, that he wants to play right away. That's why he reclassified from the 2022 class to 2025. At USC, I think that fits him the best. I know his dad wants him to go to USC because of the success of Lincoln Riley. His dad is really big into his life. Not a satellite dad like per se, but he's around a lot. And his dad said USC just because Lincoln Riley and their success with quarterbacks, and they see him like a Caleb Williams type guy. But I think wants to know for sure that he's going to play right away. At Auburn, he plays right away. At Indiana, he plays right away, obviously. So I think those are two big factors for him. And then, yeah, I mean, obviously the NIL stuff. He's making so much money, man. He's like top 10 already. All the high school kids making money in the NIL off the field. He's signed a deal with Jackson and Under Armour, which is the Auburn connection, obviously, right? A little bit, right? But no,
makes you a little nervous. Makes you nervous there.
Yeah, I think he sticks with USC, but you got to look out for Hellman Kasuga. He just released his top 8. He's the number 1 quarterback in the state of Utah. Top 5 quarterback in the 2026 class. He just released his top 8. He has USC in there. And then Ryder Lyons, who's the number 1 quarterback in the state of California and number 2 overall 2026, has USC is his top 3. And his brother Walker Lyons is the tight end on USC. So I don't know, man. Like, it looks like they're going hard after Ryder Lyons from Folsom High School up in NorCal and Hellman. So we'll see. Like, they might have a swap where they lose Julian and maybe get 2 quarterbacks, but I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. We'll see what happens. But right now, I'll say 60%.
Yeah, because Moss is a junior. Do you think he jumps with a big? Do you think he jumps with a big year? That's the question, right? Because if he doesn't, then they're set for next year. They don't necessarily need Lewis.
Exactly, yeah. And then they got Jaden too, who's obviously a young guy. He's only a sophomore.
Right.
And Julian's not afraid of competition or anything, but I know he wants to just have that. He wants to. I think he's gonna be really similar to a guy that I interviewed a lot in high school, and Josh knows this. Is Quinn Ewers. When he reclassified, right? He came in and he wanted to play like immediately, and when he lost his battle to CJ, he ended up transferring right away and played at Texas. I think it would be the same type of thing. Julian might come in and compete with Miller, but if he loses that battle, he'll end up transferring anyway. So he might just not go to USC because Miller, I don't think Miller's gonna make a picking up. He's not that guy. He's not a enter the draft early guy. Like, he's just not. He's a Cody Kessler type quarterback where he's like a 3rd, 4th round pick. Like, he's not gonna be. There would be no point in him going early. I don't see him being a 1st, 2nd round guy where he jumps early. So
interesting.
My take. I mean, we'll see.
Off the board.
We'll see.
I don't know if anybody cares, but that's a pretty interesting pick. Because I mean, I'm with you.
Somebody got Singleton. Damn it!
I think Singleton is the better running back. I think most people believe that Nick Singleton is the more talented running back than Keatley Allen. But the problem is Keatley Allen had more yards last year, and Nick Singleton dealt with some injuries. So it's very, very interesting. I like Singleton more than Keatley Allen. It's another. I guess it's kind of like the Judkins Travion Henderson situation. That's one interesting thing about doing the Big Ten only is that we're dealing with situations like this. So, Chris, what was your thought process behind Singleton?
He's going to split carries regardless. Honestly, being on that higher end of the running backs are still left that are closer to 1,000 yards, but more than anything, I think he had 26 to 30 catches.
Yeah.
Really, he's more of the pass catcher between the two.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, they used him a lot in the bowl game on the backfield. As a pass catcher. He scored a touchdown. I think he had like 70 yards, I believe. So, yeah, I get that, Chris. He's going to be their 3rd down back. He almost exclusively has that role, right? And then he's going to get carries throughout, other drives on other downs as well. So, I think that's a solid pick in that round.
He's a freak physically. The thing is that if we're drafting, and if this was like an NFL draft, you made the right pick. The problem is there's just so many question marks surrounding his health, surrounding splitting carries, his usage, how much are they going to pass the ball with the new offensive coordinator. So we're going to find out. It's definitely boom or bust, which is kind of what you're looking for in best ball. So I'm with you.
Well, with you saying boom or bust, I'm having this internal battle right now. Do I go safe, and do I pick up we just said it, Jeremiah Hunter? It's the battle of Jeremiah's going in my head because I've got a lot of time. Do I go Jeremiah Hunter, who I like the consistency, I like the experience as a senior, or do I go with someone who hasn't caught a football and hasn't played a college down yet? Because I've got about 10 picks before I come back.
We know who you're talking about.
No one's gonna help you. No one's gonna help you, dude. You're gonna have to make this decision on your own. But I think we can all say that we want both of those guys. So you can't really go wrong.
Yeah.
But while you're thinking it over, Donovan, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That Lewis kid also has a pretty giant NIL deal with with Leaf, by the way, too. He's on the cover of boxes of trading cards at Walmart. So you got
you're a card guy too. I know. Yeah, Julian's just been he's special. He's special. He deserves it all.
I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, he's a good kid. His family's great. He's just he reminds me a lot of he kind of crossed between Bryce Young and Caleb Williams to me.
Oh,
that's
there it is.
He just has a really
I get it.
What do you mean you get it? So you would have picked Jeremiah Smith over Jeremiah Hunter?
Well, here's the thing.
Got that true freshman in there.
So Chris's conundrum is this. He has to watch 9 other picks off the board before he gets an opportunity to take Jeremiah Smith again. So either he takes him now or he misses out on it. Because
you guys are
he's definitely getting picked. He's definitely getting picked before he gets an opportunity to pick him again. So I get it, Chris. I get it. You
guys are such hypocrites.
No, because so
how is that different?
I get it. What's being hypocritical about that?
Because you guys like Jeremiah Hunter over Denzel Boston,
right?
Because one's older and one's younger,
right?
But
so.
I'm excited for this explanation.
I think that it's just here. It's you're taking potential with the lack of experience, right? And I think the potential outweighs that.
So you think that Denzel Boston has no potential? I'm confused by.
No. I think Denzel Boston has less potential than Jeremiah Smith when you're looking at the two of them.
So the guy who has played in college, who we have seen,
but he's played what? He's got 5 receptions for 51 yards, right?
So how many does Jeremiah Smith have?
Right, he's got 0, but really, okay, I'm sorry. He has 7 receptions for 66 yards. So when you're talking about experience in this situation, that's like minimal experience to 0 experience, and there's a small gap between those.
Whatever, I'm over it. We're moving on.
Are you?
I'm over it. It's my turn to pick.
Hunter got picked. Donovan, great pick. That's who I was targeting next. So very good pick. I like that.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm not gonna pick for a while, like somebody mentioned before. So I was like, man, I really got to get Hunter. Safe pick for me.
He wasn't gonna. If I had the opportunity to take him, my next pick, he was gone. So
I think I reached for my first pick, so I had to kind of play it safe a little bit. And then Henderson splitting carries with Judkins too, so I don't know how that's gonna. I think he'll still be fine, but yeah, I wanted to play it safe. I think Hunter is a for sure thing. Who got Woody Marks, man? Who got Woody Marks?
Yeah, I took Woody Marks. I'm looking at the running backs up on the board. I know that. So this makes my 3rd running back. Is that right? 1, 2, 3. So you can only start 2 running backs. I get that, but I do feel like there's a pretty distinct drop off. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I don't want my number 3 running back to be somebody who isn't the guy, if that makes sense. So that's kind of why I pulled the trigger there. I don't know if it was the right move. I'm not super confident in that pick because, like I said, he's the number. How many running backs do I need? But at the same, I'm drafting running backs a lot earlier than I probably should be. But at the same time, I don't want to be left in the dust when it comes to picking them off. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
What do you guys feel about that? Was that the right pick or?
I mean, you're heavy on running backs and wide receivers. You could have went another position, but I get it.
I'd be honest with you. More than anything, what I'm surprised at is we still have last year we have a 1,000-yard rusher still on the board. Mind you, the team's going to be terrible. There's still a 1,000-yard rusher on the board.
But that's the holdup of picking him, right?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
It's just the team because that's why Oregon went so quick, right?
Honestly, you got 3 running backs too.
Me, yeah. So because I have 2. Because I have 2 in the. I have 2 in with the same buy.
No, I don't think it's a bad move. We're playing best ball, so you know, and I feel like there's a pretty distinct drop off. So I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
Well, you started with all that hypocritical talk, and I was waiting for you to say something about me picking 2 wide receivers who have the same 2 bye weeks.
No, well, that's different though, right? Well, first of all, I'm not going to be I'm not a bye week Nazi. So I would, like I said, especially with best ball. I mean, yeah, you don't want to be stuck on an island, but I feel like there's enough rounds left and wide receivers. There's 3 wide receivers that start, so it's like chances are, I mean, right, just by pure volume, you're going to have some guys that are overlapping. So I'm not digging in on that one, not at all. It is what it is. Mike, what you thinking here?
I'm thinking I have to take a receiver, but I don't know which one. I don't really like everybody that's out there right now. You know, I think they're good, but not great. I think there's a significant drop off between the guys that were picked already and what's left over. You know, you almost have to go after a guy that's got a bunch of potential over production right now. So I'm going to take another bucket. I'm going to take my boy Carnell.
Boomer, well, not really boomer bust. I don't think that's a boomer bust at all. He's going to have a relatively high floor. I think he obviously has a high ceiling. The question is like, you assume. I think it's safe to assume that Emeka Egbuka should be the guy, right? So it's like, what's the rest of the pick going to look like? So I don't have an issue with that pick at all. I think it's a good pick. But I understand your hesitation.
Yeah, no, it's hard because first off, three guys with week 3 bye. And then the other part of it is that, Carnell was good last year. But since I've known the young man since he was a freshman in high school. And everything that I've seen him do is just impressive in the gains that he has year over year. He really had never played football prior to his freshman year. He was really just kind of using his elite athletic ability. And as he started to understand route running and using his frame to box people out to make catches, the young man just got exponentially better and better and better. And I think that there's going to be a massive jump between his freshman and sophomore years. So, even though that he's going to be battling for catches with Smith and Egbuka, I still think Tate's going to get his fair share of opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I would have taken Carnell Tate over Jeremiah Smith just because I think that the floor is higher. Michael, would you have done that if he was still there or no?
Oof.
It was actually like the three players that I had kind of looked were for this pick were Smith, Hunter, and Tate. So I got my third pick out of that one.
So Brock took J. Michael Sturdivant, which I'm a big fan of. I don't like, you guys kind of talked about already with UCLA. Like,
again, it's the offense, man.
I don't know what they're going to do with Deshaun Foster. Someone's going to get the ball. I'm not worried about someone. Someone is going to rack it up, but I don't know what Deshaun Foster's plans are. J. Michael Sturdivant is clearly the most talented player on that offense. Is he going to use him though, and how's he going to use him? Right? Do we all agree on that?
I mean, yeah, I trust Eric Bieniemy, man. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people don't trust him, but you got to trust him, right? I mean, like,
he's got a decent track record.
Yeah, with Mahomes and Kelsey and everybody.
Just a little, maybe a couple of
NFL
championships, just a couple of Super Bowls.
I think they're going to score some points now. They're going to score some points. Their offensive line is bad, and their defense is bad, but they're going to score some points.
Yeah. And then Brock backed it up with the Michigan defense. Chris, I heard you go, woo. I actually don't think this is a bad pick. I think it's clearly the best defense in the Big Ten. In college, you do see sometimes defenses score 25, 30 points. What do you think? You made a sound, so I'm going to ask you.
I think it's the same pick that I made 5 picks ago. Hey, it's going to be a minute, and y'all might make a run on some, and then you guys are going to leave me with scraps. So I'm not arguing.
That's interesting. Okay,
sure.
yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think so, because I mean, Michigan. I know we talk a lot of shit about Michigan on the Ohio State show, but there is no doubt this is one of the most talented defenses in college football. Probably, I think everybody agrees the most talented defense in the Big Ten as well. Because I think
Ohio State's defense is better, but
I think Ohio State's defense has a higher ceiling, right?
Well,
but the linebackers we haven't seen. That's the scary part.
That's
right?
it. It's crazy, but I'm taking so many Buckeyes. So silly, but it is what it is.
I don't think it's silly at all. I think that's this. We're arguing about who's the best defense, and they're right there, right? Feels like there's a drop off. So
again, you guys talked me into this. You were talking about the defense. You were talking about coming back around for scraps, and I just kind of looked at the other defenses and like, yeah, they're good. Like Iowa's defense is good, Oregon's defense is good, but I just think that Ohio State has a higher ceiling there. So I didn't want to be left with one of those guys. Yeah, probably.
Good, great, good job, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Been putting that bug in your ear all night.
I'm gonna take Pat Bryant. Someone in the Illinois offense is gonna get the ball. I know you took Fegan earlier. Brett Bielema likes to run the ball. They've obviously want to throw the ball a little bit. They got Luke Altmaier there. Pat Bryant's the dude. He's a big, strong receiver at 6'3", over 200 pounds. Can move. We're sitting here where, I'm looking at the wide receivers left, and is he the last pure number one target? You could make an argument, right?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no one likes this pick. That's interesting. Where did I go wrong, boys?
Just the Illinois offense, they don't throw the ball. They like to run.
They can't run the ball.
Illinois, I know they can't run the ball all the time, but it's Brett Bielema.
Did Luke Ford have that bad of a season a few years ago? Josh Imatorbhebhe. Donovan and I thought that guy had a pretty okay year a couple of years ago. This is my 1, 2, 3, my third wide receiver. I'm not expecting.
Then if that's 3, then that's fine.
Damn, you really hate it. Well, who else is on the board that you would have liked to have?
Well, again, I probably would have went a different position because I don't really like any of the wide receivers that are available right now. Like, there's some guys that could be good, but
you got to have 3 receivers. 3 receivers start.
You got to think about it. We love the Drew Allen pick in the first. You got to throw the ball to somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, so you like Julian Fleming?
Stop it.
Stop it.
No, you don't.
Stop it. Are you ruining Chris's plans? He does pick Reds.
I don't think Julian Fleming is a bad pick. I'm not going to take him here, right? I've seen what he can do. I'm a little hurt. Honestly, I blame Donovan for it because Donovan said he was the next OBJ. Now, see, Donovan, that's a great pick, dude.
Man, I did say that. Don't call me out. I remember that from a few years ago.
I'll never forget it because I bought it. I believed it. Bought stock in him.
Well,
he was okay. I don't want to keep shitting on that.
Penn State will get the best out of him. I think he's back home. You know what I mean? So
I don't know about that, but I think that when he's healthy and he has confidence, he's a very talented receiver. Colson Loveland's a great pick, though. Does anybody disagree that is the best tight end on the board?
I think he's best. Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, but the biggest question is what kind of offense is Michigan going to run this year? Alex Orji is their projected starter, and all we see him do is run the ball. And it brings up a lot of questions as to how their passing offense is going to go. That's the only holdup with Loveland. You cannot knock the skill. He is uber talented. You're talking about a guy that should be a first, second round draft pick, right?
Here's my issue.
Just do they throw the ball? That's the question.
Here's my issue with that stance, because you've said that a couple times. Like, they don't throw the ball, they don't throw the ball. And I get that, but this is the difference between they throw the ball is a team like Oregon and Ohio State where we're drafting 3 wide receivers the first 3 rounds.
Sure.
Right? The difference between I don't throw the ball is there's still got to be somebody, right? Yeah, you're not going to draft 3 wide receivers from Illinois. I think everybody agrees on that. But you just like Michigan, you're not going to draft both tight ends, right? And you might do that with Oregon. I don't fucking know. You can make an argument to do that. But you're not going to do that with Michigan. But someone's going to catch the ball. They can't run the ball every goddamn play, right?
Sure.
And it's best ball too. So there's going to be some games against Western Michigan or UNLV or whoever the hell they play where they are going to be able to throw the ball, because that's what you do when you're shitty at something. You practice it against the shitty opponents, right? So he may only have 4 weeks where he's any good, but that's still 4 weeks where you're getting points, in my opinion.
I'm also interested to see if you guys think that Orji will hold the job down, because who's to say Davis Warren or Jack Tuttle doesn't come in. I think Alex will hold it down, but I don't think he has it so far down where he's just by far the starter. Davis Warren, solid guy. Obviously Jack Tuttle's been around like 8 years.
How many years? Like 40?
Yeah, he's been here for 7 years.
And then you've got Jaden Davis. He was a fringe 5-star coming out of high school as well. He's a true freshman.
Yeah,
Who knows if he'll actually, if he'll,
Oh,
Luke Lachey, good pick. Who knows if he'll actually force his way in? But I mean, yeah, you're right, Donovan. There's not an entrenched starter there, even though they have already announced that Orji is the starter, week 1. But yes, I think the competition's still going on. I don't think that he is like leaps and bounds above the other guys.
Here's what I'm going to make a quick comment. Then we'll talk about Chris's picks here. If they start, they can't start Jack Tuttle because that basically feels like they're giving up. That's the guy with maybe he's a guy with an okay, decent floor, but a shitty ceiling. He's very reminiscent of a shitty Tanner Mordecai from Wisconsin last year. Hey, we want a guy who's not going to fuck up. But this is Michigan. Your defense should save you a little bit. So get the quarterback that doesn't know what the hell he's doing, that's got a relatively high ceiling. Alex Orji could be a Denard Robinson level quarterback. He's very athletic. You can't put Jack Tuttle out there. That's a bad move. Does anybody disagree with that? Or
I mean, I get where you're coming from, and you're right. But also, I feel like he's going to make less mistakes.
That's a fact. I believe that. But did you?
Okay.
I mean,
Like do you think your team is good enough on offense where he can be a game manager and win? Is the question. I mean, can you do what you did last year? Okay, no, I agree with you. I've just heard some people say, well, Tuttle might hold it down, and we might have a lower ceiling, like you said, but at least
I'll be pissed if that happens.
Can Tuttle get you to the playoffs?
No, but Orji can't either. You're basically admitting like, all right, we're gonna try to get some explosive plays and fight for next.
I mean,
year.
do you really think they're
get him
not?
to the playoffs with his upside?
Yeah, I think so too. 2 losses, I think gets them in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, Tuttle. I can see this team going like 7-5 though. With Orji,
I could see that too. That's my point. I could see some good. That's my point. They might. I'm not arguing with you guys. They could go undefeated for all I know, but they could also win 8 games.
Right.
I think they are going to win about 8 or 9 games in person.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think we're all saying the same thing. We just all have all different degrees of what we do.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would go with. I mean, you might as well go with Orji. I mean, Tuttle. What is that going to do for you, really? I mean, your team's not loaded enough to go. If you're a team like Ohio State, you can go with a Tuttle or somebody like that. But
yeah, because that's what they did with Will Howard. They took Will Howard over Cam Ward because they're like, all right, we got to get the guy that's not going to make mistakes because this team is talented enough to make it.
You guys are so loaded, man. It didn't matter if Devin Brown or Julian Sane was quarterback, honestly. But, I mean, yeah, sure.
Right.
Julian Sane's going to be amazing, by the way.
Yep. He's going to be a stud.
I'm sure you guys know that, but I'm a huge fan.
So before Donovan picks, I do want to give Chris props. He took the guys that I had circled. Luke Shea, number 1 tight end. Arguably, if it wasn't for an injury, we could be having a conversation with him. With Loveland, Kay McNamara comes back, supposedly really healthy. Loves the tight end. Loved Eric All last year or 2 years ago. Luke Shea's a great pick there. Then he took T.J. Harden. I mean, he's like
value, Chris.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you're looking at. Value.
Those are guys. Those are guys with very high floors. So I'm a big fan. Those are all great picks. I had both of them.
Yeah.
I had both of them highlighted.
Value, good value picks though.
All right, so I'm on the board.
Katron Allen coming off the board.
Yeah, that was.
So we talked about that too.
That was quick, Donovan.
Oh yeah,
right,
once I saw that name on there, I didn't know he was even still available. Honestly, I thought
Made
somebody
your choice easy.
Well, I mean, I do like Noah Whittington too, so I kind of thought about that. But Katron seems to be the guy. I mean, I do think the other running back, Nick Singleton's better and probably get more touches, but I think they will split carries and he'll still get a lot of touches, a lot of yards. I mean, some people think I think Michael, didn't you say you like Katron Allen more than Singleton?
I like them both. I think they're both. I think they're both like top 7-ish.
Oh, you asked yes, sir. You said Katron Allen. You said Allen was better.
Okay. So I do. I do like Allen just because I think he's more, to me, he's more explosive. And then I just like him as a runner back.
I'm just giving you a hard time. He had better stats.
They're both right. He does have better stats. They're both going to get the ball a lot. So again, you're battling against a teammate, which is real football.
I was just giving you a hard time. It's the 7th round, and he's a very good back. So I took Will Howard. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? I felt like that was the best quarterback left on the board. Does anybody agree or disagree?
That's a great pick, man.
Yeah.
I was wondering when you're going to take a quarterback.
Mike, you took Will Rogers right after, though.
Will Rogers, yep. Rogers was the top of my second tier for
rock.
For Tyler Ward.
Well, he took Curtis Rourke too, who I love myself some Rourke boys, bro.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be money in the CFL, the Madden.
Go.
But yeah, Will Rogers. I mean, that dude. I wish that he would have gone to Ohio State. Personally, I think he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in college football, and he kind of got shit on because when they switched over that offense. Valley was a great pick too. I think
he's honestly the main reason why I'm so high on Washington. It's really just him, you know.
Yeah,
I think that yes, new coaching staff, et cetera, but the talent's still there. I think he's good enough to win, and you know, I don't think they're going to drop off as significant as everyone believes them.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pissed at you for taking Velling. Velling was second team All Pac-12 last year. He's following his head coach to Michigan State. I didn't think a lot of people even knew about him, so this is a big old fuck you. But that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna be okay.
Oh yeah, there's a little run on tight ends there, and I didn't.
Well, you had to. There's a fucking huge drop off now.
Yeah,
Ferguson.
I took the top guy, right?
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't want to be left with scraps.
There's a drop off now. So
Velling was at the he was at the bottom of my list there.
I was a great pick, Donovan. I was a great pick. Fucking dicks.
Can't go wrong with Iowa defense.
I'm getting my ass. I'm getting my ass.
Good thing Iowa does every year. That's play defense.
I know. I'm really not mad about but the Velling thing really pisses me off because I had that fucker circled.
They got a new white quarterback. What's his name? John Nestor. Yeah. No. Iowa. John Nestor. So I've if you guys didn't know, I covered some high school recruiting, Illinois for a couple of years. And John's a player that I got to know a lot. He went to a lot of camps with me. And the young man is just, he does not play the way he looks. He is like intense, but he's like the nicest kid off the field. He's one of those guys that just has one of those switches where when he's on the field, he just turns it on. And when he's off the field, he's like one of the nicest kids you'll ever get a chance to talk to. And he's going to be awesome. I mean, absolutely awesome. So, Iowa's got another white corner.
Did anyone have an issue with the Terrence Ferguson pick? I kind of just rambled on. I mean, Mike, I think you agreed with that pick, judging by our previous conversation about Oregon. But does anybody have any issues with the Terrence Ferguson pick? Like, why'd you do that? No,
that's a good pick.
Yeah, with all the other tight ends that were taken off, he makes the most sense.
Oh, you bastards! I thought I could really sit and wait on that Velling pick. That was the guy. Nope. Velling was the guy that I was really banking on. Not gonna lie. That's the first time I've been upset this draft. It'll happen a few more times.
My bad.
I just think he's going to be special. I really do think he's going to be not special. I shouldn't. No, yeah.
Terrence Ferguson.
No, Velling. I think he's really good. He was good at Oregon State. He's coming. Maybe not like NFL talented good, but I feel like he fits what they're going to do, and he's reliable.
He's a great red zone threat.
Yeah, Charles and him already have a connection from previous. I think it's just a good pick, and the Iowa defense is a good pick too, Donovan. I just knew that they were never going to come my way. That's pretty deep in there.
Now we're in the spot where we're figuring, hey, we don't even know who the quarterback is for Maryland.
This is like
if you guys do, let me know.
It's got to be MJ Morris, right?
No.
I mean, you don't. I mean, I assume. I mean, it feels like they invested a little bit to get him there. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. Maybe not financially, but like, it's got to be right. Why would you go out and get him if you? I guess that's.
Yeah,
that's the MJ Morris theory, right? Why would you go get him?
It should be MJ Morris for sure.
Right?
There's nobody else.
And he showed flashes. He showed flashes at NC State. They said that was one of the schools where when I talk to people that are close to that, usually when you talk to guys that leave, it's like they're like, fuck off. Like even Kansas State, a lot of Kansas State people I talk to, they're like, it's fine, take him. But some North Carolina State fans were like, damn, dude, like MJ Morris was kind of dope. So
And now the drop begins.
Now the drop begins.
Yeah.
That's all right though. Well, I don't think that's fine though. That's a good pick. I agree with you. There's a drop.
Not bad.
I agree with you.
I think that's the last of tier 1 defenses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you. By the way, Josh, I think MJ Morris should be the starter.
He's got to be.
Oh well, I mean, Edwards Jr. is okay, I guess. Like Billy Edwards Jr. He's okay, but MJ Morris has way higher upside for sure.
MJ Morris has some upside.
Yeah, Edwards, you know what you're gonna get. I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Average
no, I agree.
quarterback.
You know, I'll be 100% honest with you. As much as I assume, Josh, you love Matt Rule. I haven't seen the Nebraska player come off the board, and there it is.
I love Matt Rule.
I literally just put Rail on my queue.
Is that what you're saying? You said I love Matt Rule?
No. Oh.
I do, but I didn't know what they're good. I mean, I didn't know, where do you go? What are they going to do? I like him as a coach. I don't know what he's got the talent to make it happen. So I'm at a bit of a crossroads here. Everybody else has got a defense but me, but here's the situation. I feel like there's one defense out there left that's Studley. And if I don't get them, I'm in trouble. It's best ball. Right? So
do you want us to start doing this?
Huh?
Just start waving to the kids?
No, they're off the board, dude.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
I
don't have to technically take them, but like let's say if Brock takes a defense, which he's a fucking wild card, I'm fucked. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull the trigger on Oregon, dude. No, is that not the best defense left?
I mean, it's the best defense left. I didn't see Don's pick with Iowa. I thought they were still on the board.
Yeah, no, last round. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a stark drop off, and I don't want to get fucked. So
there's a big drop off.
The chance that someone takes, I know you guys are thinking like, dude, no one else is gonna take a defense. I don't know if that's true. Dude. It's best ball.
Yeah, I mean, their best defense left them in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
I think Oregon has created a lot more turnovers than Wisconsin.
Yeah. I agree. Wisconsin's got very clear issues that Oregon does not. So that's where we're going with.
For sure.
All right. This is all on potential.
That's a good pick, Michael.
I think he's get like when we had you on a couple weeks ago and you told me that he transitioned from a tight end to a wide receiver, I was like, that is exactly what he needed because he needs the ball in space, and I feel like they're going to throw the ball a lot. What do you think? Like, Donovan, what do you think? I mean, you cover the Trojans.
That was going to be my next pick.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a good one because and Miller Moss, from being at Trojans Wire and looking at what they're doing in the offseason, man, Miller Moss likes Deuce Robinson a lot. Even over Mekhi. I thought somebody was going to pick Mekhi Lemon first because of what he's produced, but Deuce is good, man. And obviously, like, he hasn't had much time, as much time as other guys because he plays baseball.
Yeah, he's got to stop that.
Yeah, he's God, he's so good at both, but he's a little bit better of a football player.
I think so too.
Yeah. Because he didn't get drafted at all, so he's got to stop. So yeah, I think he might not play next year if he has a good year. If he has a big year, he might not play.
I would
also like to add, I would have also taken Robinson over Lemon. Chris, would you? I mean, I feel like we all agree on that. No.
No, I was listening a couple weeks back when Don was talking about him, and I was sold. Hell.
Yeah.
People are sleeping on him, man. They would probably say Lemon or Jacoby Lane over Deuce, but I think Deuce is gonna have.
I disagree. Yeah.
Now that he's not at tight end anymore, I think like what Michael said earlier, with he's got the open space a little bit. I mean, he's the real deal, man. They didn't know what to do with him last year. I feel like.
So, oh shit. Okay, so Ches Malusi went off the board to Brock. Julian Fleming went off the board to Brock. Michael takes Aiden Childs from Michigan State. I got to tell you, that's a great fucking pick, my friend. Because that's a very high upside pick. We're in the 10th round. It's time to start. You know, that's just, we talked about that whole potential argument we had earlier. Now it's like,
yep,
dude, this is where it's at. So I'm fucking with you, dude.
Yep.
Because everybody agreed. Did anybody see the Aiden Childs pick and hate it? Because I'd love to hear from that person. Because
I think this was a perfect spot for him. You know, already have QB1 and Rodgers. You know, getting another one to cover his bye, I don't think makes you know, the worst sense. And on top of that, you're talking about a guy that could absolutely blow up too. Like he could have a monster year. He could throw for 3,500 yards and 40 touchdowns. You know,
so
total touchdowns. He's going to run a lot too.
I took Jaden Fielder by far and away. Going to be the highest scoring kicker in the Big Ten. I think we all agree on that. It's best ball.
Iowa's kicker? Do we get punters?
It's not uncommon for kickers to get 15, 20 points in college fantasy, right? Because, you know, every extra point counts, yada, yada, yada. So, you know, I know you guys are laughing. But someone's going to be stuck with the fucking dud. I'm going to get 20. I'm going to have some games where I'm going to get 20 fucking points, and somebody on this league is going to get fucking 3.
Oh, did you draft a kicker? Is that why they laughed?
Yeah.
I left for 1 second.
Oh, did you draft a kicker?
Oh,
I'm just telling you. That's how it's good. That's how it's going to happen. You know, I may have drafted early. There's going to be 2 other people that are going to get lucky or whatever, but I'm avoiding it. I got my guy. I got the best guy. I'm ready. Does anybody disagree that that's going to be the best, highest scoring kicker in the Big Ten?
Yeah, he will be.
Yeah.
Well, Grady Gross is pretty good. They might not score. They're not going to score that much. So.
That's kind of key, buddy.
Well, I think Grady Gross might kick more actual field goals.
Yeah, but every time I get an extra point, that's a point. Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Ohio State, when Ohio State scores, let's say they score 49 points against Akron, that's 7 points for the kicker immediately.
How much is a field goal? 3?
3.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's a good pick. Then, if you're gonna pick a kicker.
I mean, when you look at it like that.
I don't know.
So
don't know.
So you took Noah Whittington from Oregon. Feels like you got some sleeper knowledge there, buddy. What you got going on? What you thinking? No, I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I know you, and he's not the starter, but I feel like you know something. You're familiar with him.
He's not the starter. I mean, he covers the ACL. You know what I mean? He can come back healthy. He's getting 100%. I think he's getting there. You know, I mean, injuries happen. You know, to starters. You know, so he's really talented. I'm going off of more just talented, or his talent overall than.
So this is more
starting. You know, obviously, Gabriel's gonna probably. I think he'll probably lead the team in rushing. Or
Gabriel.
Well, probably James, I guess, and then Gabriel second. But I would say Noah is gonna be using some packages, and he'll get some touches through the air too.
I think that Noah's probably going to be second in the team in rushing. He's going to get some. He is a talented player. He's going to get something. Yeah.
Well, Dylan can run really well, but
yeah. No, I mean, you know, I think there's going to be. Well, maybe I don't know. I didn't pick him. If you think that he's worse than the quarterback of rushing, that's on you, brother.
I wish I got Dylan. I don't know who got Dylan Gabriel, but
that was the first pick that went to your boy Chris.
Yeah. That was Chris.
Yeah, that makes sense that he was the first pick.
So was Whittington, was it an ACL or was it a foot?
I thought it was an ACL.
I thought, ACL.
Okay, so I don't know why I thought I read something that broke his foot.
He said he felt fine though. No, he tore his ACL versus Colorado.
Okay.
Last year, so but that was a while ago. I think he'll be fine.
Oh
He'll
yeah.
have a good season.
Well, I think it's feast or famine.
ACL's not the same obviously as a
Kicker run, baby. Kicker run, and that's it. That's the number 2 guy. That's the number 2 guy, Giant Gap now. Giant Gap now. You guys made fun of me, but me and Chris got the only 2 fucking offenses that average more than 5 touchdowns a game, bro. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yeah, I mean, there's a big fucking drop off, dude.
No, I was thinking back to the Whittington. I mean, we've seen Oregon in the past. I mean, hell, you might have a whole drive where they go no huddle. I mean, whatever running back's out there is a running back out there, you know?
Yep.
So I think Whittington's a good pick.
Yep. And then when Whittington scores or when Whittington gets him in field goal range, Atticus is right there, baby. Dude, Atticus is going to have – I'm telling you.
Atticus is right there.
We're going to do a kicker update every week because someone's going to get fucked.
Boy.
Someone's going to get fucked, bro. Just like I got fucked with the defenses. Roman Hemby. Man, you know, is that the last? I mean, he's the bell cow there. He's the bell cow there. The offensive line is clearly going to take a step back.
Agreed.
But if we're wrong about that, we might have, you know, a guy who's going to be all Big Ten this year.
Right. But I mean, like I said, if he can be all Big Ten, regardless if he's all Big Ten or not, for me, that's just all volume, baby.
Yeah. That's fair. There's, I mean, you know, we're talking about Noah Whittington might not, you know, we know that Hemby's going to get more touches than Whittington. Oh shit!
It has begun.
Glad I led the charge. So, what was your thought process behind good old Gross, Donovan? Oh shit! I'm on the clock. You guys talk so much yourselves.
I mean, I think he's the best kicker in the Big Ten, like actual kicker. No, he's not going to score the most points because Washington's not going to score as many points as the other teams. But I think he's Lou Gross Award finalist.
It's a good pick right there. That was my next pick.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
He's not the. It's yet to be determined if he's going to be the workhorse, but he's an explosive player. They use him in the pass game. You know, if he does get a punt return or kick return for a touchdown, I get those points as well. So he's quick. He's a fun player. Jonathan Smith is a pretty creative player caller, so maybe he can do some things that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Back to Don's pick, though. I mean, you think Grady Gross, he's got 40-yard makes against his last 3 games. He got Oregon, Texas, and Michigan. Mind you, they obviously dropped that last one against Michigan, but 40-yard makes, hey, if they're willing to kick it, go for it.
He's got a cool story, too, with him, you know, earning that scholarship last year.
That's right. That's where I know it. I saw the video. That's right.
That's where I saw him first. Yeah, was that like Disney video, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I had to pick. I mean, it was just the best kicker available.
I would agree with that.
I like Lance too, though. Michael Lance, because I think USC will score a lot of points. Lincoln Riley just never kicks he doesn't kick field goals ever. So.
Right.
Don McCulley's an interesting pick. Former quarterback, moved to wide receiver, big giant guy. Got loads and loads of potential. He just has to put it all together. You know what I mean? He could be.
I think this offense fits him a little bit better than the old Indian offense too. So
I don't think there's an argument there. I think you're absolutely right. He could, you know, I mean, he's better than Ty Freifogel, and that guy had a lot of stats. You know, Isaiah Williams from Illinois was another former quarterback who made the transition in the shitty offense. So also put up some stats. So yeah, I like McCulley. McCulley's cool.
Yeah. At this point in time, you're just hoping some guys hit, right?
Yeah, it's best ball too. So if you can get, you know, if this guy has explodes against, you know, I don't know, James Madison, whoever the hell they're playing, he wins you one game. That's a big deal, right?
Yep.
So I'm with you. So Brock's on the clock now. No one really knows where he's going with this because he's not with us. I get, you know, let's see here. Let's see what we got left here. Well, I mean, Michael, you're the next person up as far as on this chat. I guess Brock is listening in, so you probably don't want to give him too much. So let's look back at this. So I guess we didn't discuss. Did anybody not like the Nathan Carter pick? Is there anybody that there's a running back out there where you're like, I'd rather have him than Nathan Carter?
No, he was the one that I brought up earlier. I said, hey, we still got a 1,000-yard rusher on the board. So
Yep. Don McCulley. Did anybody not like that pick? Is there any wide receiver out there that you're like, this guy's better?
No, I mean, I'm surprised. I don't even want to say it. We got another receiver on the board still at 90 targets. So, but no, I think that he's got more. McCulley's got more upside this season than that individual.
Yes, I would agree. There's a guy I have on my list that I probably would have drafted ahead of McCulley, but as far as go, it's you can. It's not like I can't stand on the table and tell you that you're wrong. Does that make sense? It's like it's a guy that I like better because things may fit the mold better, but it's not necessarily doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be better. So I completely get that. So we are getting down. Let's see what is anybody looking at his team? What's he got left?
Brock.
I'm working on a phone.
Let's see.
He needs probably another running back, right?
Well, he's got your boy. He's got your boy Rourke, Miller Moss off the top. He won the Julian Fleming sweepstakes.
So he took the Fleming sweepstakes. Donovan. Tell us about Julian Fleming, man. Where did we go wrong? What happened, man? He just bumped and bruised by injuries.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think he's going to be unlocked with Penn State with the new offensive coordinator?
I mean, I think injuries and just confidence in injuries, like you said, and just when you're at Ohio State, man, there's not much room for error at
That's
right
true
because that's wide receiver U, and I mean, it's just tough. Like he just didn't cut it out. I mean, they're too talented at receiver. They got the most talented receiver. So.
But the thing is, he played a lot. He played a lot though, and he dropped a ton of passes. It's not like he sat there and just didn't play. He had his opportunities, so he just didn't take advantage of it. I mean, hell, he was the former number 1 overall wide receiver of the country.
He didn't seem like he got much better too. Seemed like
I think he got worse.
Yeah,
that's
stood out to me so much in his range, and it just seemed like he didn't improve. But like I said, he's back home. And new opportunity, he'll have another chance to improve.
Oh, that was going to be my next pick. If I don't, he's looks healthy again, and Nebraska's going to throw the ball a lot.
We think there's a couple interesting. So Brock made a couple interesting. He picked Justice Ellison, running back from Indiana. We think he's going to be the bell cow there, right? Right? We all agree. We think.
I have to assume.
And then he took Thomas Fedone from Nebraska. We talked about there not being a dearth of tight ends left. He could be one with some interest.
Was that dearth? You said dearth?
He did say dearth.
Okay.
Did I use that correctly?
Give me a second. Let me jot that one
down. So Mikey took Jamal Banks from Nebraska. We talked about Chris brought it up, right? The Nebraska offense. You know who's gonna. We know they're gonna be improved. I love Matt Rule. I think everybody maybe doesn't love Matt Rule as much as I do, but everybody has expectations that should be increased. So we're seeing guys. We're throwing shots at the wall, right? And I dig it, baby. I dig it.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly it. Nebraska. I think it's good with Rayola there. I think they're gonna throw the ball a lot, and Banks. I think that was who you were alluding to, right, Chris? Who had
absolutely.
Who had over 90? He had 92 targets last year. Yeah, it was 92. I mean, you were 2 off, so you're right there.
Yeah.
But I think that the potential is there for him to potentially break out with Rayola just slinging it. So I think they're going to play to his strengths, which is throwing the ball. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot.
So I took LaShawn Williams from Iowa. I'm hoping that he's the bell cow. They got a little bit of a two-headed monster there as well. So it's a little bit of a shot in the dark. I like what he can do. So we're going to see if it translates. I know that you guys noticed he's got a big old red flag next to his name. It's because he's currently injured. But again, I don't think it's anything that I'm really worried about. It's like they said he's missed a couple days of practice or whatever, right?
something like that.
Yeah. So it's it's early enough, and I can't. It is what it is. Anybody disagree with this pick or surprised by that pick or?
It's fine.
It's fine. That's what people.
I mean, again,
log on to the show, baby.
But like at this point in time, at this point in time of the draft, though, it's you're just kind of like going after guys that could be good, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like you're taking shots in the dark, like you said, so makes sense. It's okay.
I feel like that shot in the dark. We know I was going to run the ball, right? So the question is that the shot? You know what I mean?
That right there might be one of the better picks here in these late rounds. Let's be real. Holden coming over from Bama, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. Right, Donovan? That's from Bama.
Yeah, he was at Bama last year.
Yeah. So Donovan, what's up? Why you love Holden so much? What's going on? What's going through your head?
I mean, that offense is just loaded. It's one of the best offenses in the country, top 5 to me, and obviously Evan Stewart, Tess Johnson, great. Trayshawn Holden is pretty much a number 1 guy to me, though, in that offense.
Really?
Yeah, like I think he can produce. I think he's going to produce a lot. 37 receptions last year, 6 touchdowns. I think thinking like 45, 50 this year.
So you think that there's a chance that is there a chance that in December we're going to look at Holden as the number 1 receiver in that Oregon offense, or?
No, I just think he has number 1 talent. I don't know about number 1 receiver because Evan Stewart and Tess Johnson are dogs. But all it takes is 1 injury, man. And then he is up there with those guys, and they got guys behind him too that are good. Obviously with Dickey and then Gary Bryant Jr. who's been playing for a long time. Cal Casper from UCLA. So there's guys behind him that are good. And they're gonna spread the ball a lot, but that offense is just loaded, and he's gonna get a lot of touches. I think it's good value. I mean, I don't know what round this is, like the 12th round, but
Yep. Well, that makes sense too, because like you said, there was 2 wide receivers that went ahead of him. He's the 3rd wide receiver. Someone goes down. First of all, the number 3 receiver is going to play. Second of all, if someone gets hurt, he's going to step in. He's got the talent to exceed that. So I'm right there with you. Chris took Bryce Kurtz from Northwestern. That's the number 1 receiver there, right?
Yeah. I mean,
so you're getting number 1 guy in the 12th round.
No, I'm not going to argue. He's going to get targets, whether it's on some field they made up on Friday night or Wrigley Field or wherever they happen to be playing at that week, So I'm not going to argue value sitting at round 12.
No, I like it. Does anybody else have any comments on Kurtz? No? Michael, you're the only one that didn't comment on Holden. You like Holden pick?
No, I mean it's the amount of targets is the only thing that would hold me back on him because, like Donovan said, he's got 2 other guys that are around him that are going to get a lot of targets as well. So, but again, at this point in time in the draft, you're looking at guys that could potentially break out. He's a guy that could break out. So I think that's a pretty solid pick.
So how do you feel about Kurtz? You're a Chicago guy.
I don't know much about Kurtz, to be honest with you. I mean, he had a decent season last year. 6 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, right? Toyed with potentially going to the draft. So anytime you get a guy that is potentially leaving early, he's got some skill and talent. I'm just afraid of that Northwestern offense will be a sputtering mess again. That's all.
I again, you're getting a number 1 receiver in the 12th round, so I don't think you can do much better than that. Mike Wright, they got the new transfer from Vanderbilt, I believe it was where he was at. Can run around, maybe create plays, get him open. So I'm down with it. But the best pick I love Tyler Van Dyke. This is a great pick. I think that there's a huge drop off. There's a huge drop off after him. I had him circled. Yeah. I think it's a great pick. Chris, what do you tell us? Walk us through your Tyler Van Dyke pick.
I mean, he's got starting experience. He's coming into this Luke Fickell system. I'm not sure. I have an idea what it'll look like, but I mean, I think Van Dyke gives Luke Fickell more ease than Van Dyke, or Luke Fickell gives Van Dyke ease in a sense. But also, number one pick went Dylan Gabriel. I got to plug that week 4 and week 13 bye hole I have. So
Thanks for the reminder to check my bye weeks.
there it is.
Week 3 might be rough.
There's so many guys in the red stuff right there.
Yeah.
Well, I think 3 is rough for everybody. Looks like that's a pretty rounded out Big Ten bye week. Shit. All right, it's not even help to look at it. It's just so much nonsense going on.
I realize I've been in this house for 2 months. I still have curtains up. Look at me.
I love it, dude. You look great. You look great.
I got some stuff I was gonna hang up, but I haven't even got it out of storage yet. I was gonna put my Buckeye Heisman jersey up here. I don't have that hung up. It's still in storage. I was gonna put Tom up too. It's in storage.
You got a signed one?
Oh yeah. I got Big Poppy.
No shit. Look at you.
White chocolate himself.
Ooh.
White chocolate. It's awesome.
I just realized I got all these blank spaces here.
I know. So much room for activities. So much space for.
You see all sewing equipment.
Oh, okay, Donovan, walk us through the pick, buddy.
I mean, these are backups at this point, and obviously, he played a lot of Illinois for the past 4 years. I'm pretty high on Purdue this year. I would have picked Hudson Card, but I already have 2 quarterbacks, so I went with the next best option at running back here. I think he missed like 5 or 6 games last year for injury, but I mean, he's been pretty productive. I mean, times he's came in the game a little bit, like when he played against Indiana last year, but it's a backup running back. I mean, he's solid. He's not gonna wow you or anything. I think he's only ran for like 1,500 yards his whole career, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there, but maybe less than that. But it's a solid pick. He might do some things this year for Purdue, transfer from Illinois, so we'll see. But I got a couple other running backs, ahead of him, but need some depth right there.
So I picked Ty Felton. I mean, he had 80 targets last year. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to find somebody with volume. So Felton was the guy. I felt like there was a big drop off at wide receiver after him, especially considering the amount of targets and shit. So that's where I went. Anybody agree or disagree?
Can't argue it.
Nope. All good.
So Mike took Zach Horton from Indiana. Walk us through that pick, Zach or Mike.
He scored 6 touchdowns last year. Again, I think that Indiana's new offense will kind of elevate a lot of their players. Their stats are going to make that jump. And I think he's going to be the better factor. I think he's the guy at the position, and hopefully he has a couple good games.
Okay, that's fair. And who's on? And Brock's on the board now.
He was at James Madison with Surratt.
Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Very interesting. We gotta fill it in, guys. We gotta fill in this awkward silence. What we got going on?
I lost my spot in the draft. I exited out of the damn.
Brock's going back. Back to back here.
No, Brock's up.
You're good. Brock's going back to back here, so we'll see what he does. I really liked his pick of Fedone. As long as he stays healthy, man, I think he can have a big season. He's the number 1 tight end in his class coming out of high school, and big things. Lance, I think that's a good pick as well. I think Brock's done really well in the last few rounds with his picks.
Who did you just take just now? Oh, you bitch.
Yeah.
So it's going to come down to LaShawn Williams and Caleb Johnson. So, one of us is going to make out like a bandit. Him, I'm hoping not. Kind of where we're at.
So we've felt what now? It's a week now since they've stripped Quinshawn Judkins of that sweet spin move. Is it hurting anybody?
No, I'll be
that Mike was the one that asked about that. I think he plays that game more than I do. Michael, you still playing that game? You still playing it?
I play a little bit. I'm not as enamored as I thought it would be. I like it, but having an infant is, definitely cutting into my time to play video games. I'm not a single dude anymore, so it's been hard to juggle that. So that's probably why I haven't played a ton. But no, it's a fun game. I only played with Ohio State a couple of times, so I really didn't abuse that Judkins spin. But I think it's funny that they made him so damn good that they had to change it. I think that's absolutely hilarious.
So I'm kind of confused as to what to do here. God. So what we?
Well, you still need a backup quarterback, but you've got what you got. I mean, let's be real.
So here's. All right, I'm gonna take Giles Jackson. That's the third receiver. That's the third receiver in that Washington offense. He's older. Maybe something will happen. It was between him and Lane from USC. How does everybody feel about that? Should I pick Lane, or did I make the right choice?
I think that it's okay. I mean, again,
I thought you were gonna go maybe Hudson Card.
No, I feel good about where I'm at with quarterbacks right for now.
You have one or two? You have one?
Just one. I wanted to get another wide receiver in there.
I mean, you can wait. Yeah,
there's just it's kind of meh at quarterback right now. So
yeah, no,
it's your backup as well.
And Lane was the number 3 receiver at USC, and Jackson was the number 3 receiver at Washington. So I took the older guy that's more injured. Lane's got higher potential, but he's younger, so I just went with the older guy. You know what I mean? I thought to myself, what would Michael and Chris do? And I went with the older guy. So
wow, who are you?
I'm gonna go. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. I know I'm trying to get this moving, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just conflicted on.
No, dude, I love it, bro. Think long and hard.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was. I didn't know I was up. So now. Whew. This is Well, I mean, I'm really torn between the. Okay.
I love it. I love those noises too.
Yeah.
Oh man! So I did fuck up. You piece of shit.
So I mean, I was gonna pick Mekhi Lemon.
Oh, you rude dick, dude. You screwed me.
Like
you got my head.
Once you, I mean, like the thing with the USC wide receivers though, it's like it could be Lemon with 8 catches and $120, and then next game he gets no catches. Like that's how it's gonna be. Like the only person that's guaranteed touches is Zachariah Branch. Like that's it. Like because they're so deep at receiver, but it's not like they're deep at receiver, but the talent gap is not like huge. Like really from like 2 to 7. You know what I mean? 2 to 6, like any of those guys could get play. Like Deuce is gonna get play. Lane, Lemon. I still think Kyle Ford's gonna get play back at USC. You know what I mean? So, and I think Kyron Hudson's pretty solid. So it's gonna be tough. But I just picked him because I think he'll get a few more touches. I really like Lake McCree too at tight end. I think he's gonna get.
I liked him, dude. I told you I liked him, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't trust like USC using a tight end, so I didn't pick Lake McCree. But they've been using tight ends more in practice, but they're splitting. Walker Lyons is going to play a lot of tight end. I'm telling people right now. Like he's not going to start, obviously, but because he just came back from his Mormon mission like a month ago, so he's so far behind. But he's way better than Lake McCree. But he just hasn't touched a football in 2 years.
So you're saying even if I didn't mention Lane, you were going to take him? It had nothing to do with my previous discussion?
No, because not really. No, yeah, I kind of did. I'm not gonna lie. Actually.
Oh, you dick! Because I was thinking
no,
about taking it as my
I
next
was
pick.
gonna pick Lemon, but then when you said something about Lane, I was like, damn, I think people think Lane is a little bit better than Lemon.
I'm so upset with myself. I'll never speak out loud again.
Wow.
But Lemon's still on the board though.
No. I don't want Lemon. I want
Why
Lane.
don't you like Lemon, man? You don't like Makai Lemon at all. You've been hating on Makai Lemon.
No, I haven't hated him. I think Lane. Ooh, you bitch! Ooh, you bitch!
That could be a good pick.
Oh my god, dude! I really thought that motherfucker was gonna slide to me.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a great pick. Over 800 yards rushing last year. Every Ohio State fan remembers Devin Mockenby.
Yeah.
Woo,
Oh, yeah.
Woo. Guy's got some skills. Former walk-on.
Yeah.
Great pick. Possibly best pick of the draft, my friend. That was a good pick. That's a big drop off, my friend. Yeah, no shit. Did some work there.
Just to follow. Apparently now, Mike and I's new adoptive process. I'm going to go with the senior on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Going through my list here.
Oh boy. Okay.
There you go, dude. Now take your stupid lemon party.
No, I can't take Lemon. Like, I can't. No. I thought he would transfer with his best. He went to USC because his best friend is Malachi Nelson, that went to Boise State. So I'm surprised he didn't transfer with him. Honestly, I thought they would leave together, but so I'm not gonna pick him right now.
I'm so upset with myself. Dude. I could have got Lane. I could have got Lane and Jackson. I would have been set. Could have got both those pieces of shit.
Okay. Let's go upside right here because.
What just happened?
What just happened?
President
Howard just happened.
Oh, okay. Trying to cross off my board. All right, so it's my turn. I don't like this pick.
I don't like this pick.
It's just a little bit of a risk. I'm going to take Mullins. I know he's not the number one guy, but Donovan Edwards is pretty injury prone.
That's not a risk. That's a good pick.
No, it's good.
They use him a little bit anyways. He had over 300 yards last year. So it's not like they don't use him. He's going to be the number 2 guy in an offense that uses 2 running backs. So we'll see what happens. So, Michael, what you thinking here?
I'm going with the running back, and I've got 2 in mind, and I don't know which one I want to take. Both of them are elder statesmen. I think I'm going to go with the guy. All right. We'll go with Twee Walker.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently he's been really good at during practice so far and contending for the number 1 spot. So I think that he's going to get some carries. So,
yeah.
And worst he's a number 2, right?
Yeah, worst case scenario is number 2 guy. So
yeah.
You know, we're at that point, right?
Yep, exactly.
Ches Malusi goes down. He's the guy. Very interesting. Would you have taken, if Lane was there for you, would you have taken Lane?
Probably not.
Interesting. What about on this turnaround?
I had the opportunity to take him there at 14, but I didn't. And then 15, no, because I've got, how many receivers do I have? I've got 5 receivers already. So, no, I wasn't really looking at receivers.
Interesting. Okay.
Are you still mad about the Lane pick, Josh?
Just trying to figure out, where I messed up, where I could have, trying to figure out if I could have grabbed both of them. That's all I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I mean Lane just there's
Who
nobody
would
that he jumps, man. He jumps.
Who would
Yeah,
bust, yeah.
he's a. I mean, if you want, obviously the Louisville game, Miller Moss he's 6'4" with like a 42 in vertical.
I know. Well, I put him on my top 10 wide receiver, Big Ten wide receivers list.
Oh, did you? Top 10?
Well, based off of potential, I put him out like in the back half because I was like, man, I think that we did top 5, right? And then I listed 5 other guys. I was like, man, this guy could really emerge. He had a big bowl game. He had a big bowl game. There's no doubt in that. He definitely has talent. It's just, can he put it together? So I don't know. The Giles Jag, that's the only pick I made this draft where I was like, dude, I don't know if that was a good pick. Am I gonna fucking regret that? Because it's best ball. That's a guy that might put up goose eggs, dude. If we're being honest. But that is where we're at.
All right, Brock's there.
All right, let's see what Brock does back to back.
No shit, dude. He's taking this
interesting.
sweet ass time.
Yeah, but he's probably like making 2 picks at the same time, don't you think?
Yeah, I would hope so.
So
No, I mean,
Donovan, you being on here, what do you think about Paul Feinbaum's comments earlier yesterday?
He's giving me a lot to write about, man.
Is that right?
He needs to lay. I mean, we'll see. He hates Lane. He hates Lincoln Riley. I almost said he hates Lane too. I said he hates Lane. He hates Lane too. He helped get Lane fired. I'm sure y'all heard about that too when they were on the show together. But no, he doesn't like Lincoln at all. He calls him average coach, and we'll see. USC's disrespected this year. They don't have a superstar player, or they don't have an All-American offense or defense, really. I mean, Zach Branch is exciting and stuff, but he's not really. I mean, he's the best player on the team. I get it, but it was a little disrespect and moving to a bigger conference with better teams. But Feinbaum's whatever, man. I respect him for he is, and I live in the South. But I mean, he's just. They're not gonna fire him this year. They're not gonna go like 5-7, like he's saying. Like they're not that bad. And the Big Ten's great, but like it's not like. The talent gap is not. This isn't UCLA, dude. Like it's still USC. I know he lost to UCLA, but like they know what they're getting into, and the schedule's tough. But I think they can win 8 games minimum. Like, so.
I was driving to work a couple days ago, and I was listening to whatever the one Rick Neuheisel's on Sirius. They had Lincoln Riley on there talking about how the team gained 1,400 pounds, put on 1,400 pounds this offseason.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They've took the right measurements to get in this conference and move. Benny Wiley is one of the best strength and conditioning coaches in the country. He brought over from Oklahoma, and he was one of the reasons that. Sorry, I cursed. I guess I can curse, right?
Yeah, I dropped an F-bomb within like 3 minutes, so you're good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just talking to the homies right now. But no, he's a good coach, man. Benny Wiley, that was one of the guys that he really needed to stick around and stay on that staff. And yeah, they put on a lot of. I mean, they're going to struggle a little bit, yeah, but like Feinbaum's over exaggerating a little bit. But I mean, we'll see. I think Lincoln's still a top 10 coach to me in college.
Dylan, Donovan, I need you to explain this. Did
he pick Dylan G? What? They picked Dylan Jiva?
Yeah.
But why?
Wow.
Can you explain it or no? You can't.
Over Jaden?
I know. Why would he do that?
Well, he loves Jaden Maivia though. That's why I'm surprised. Now he just bounced back with that pick because that was my pick.
Oh, really? That was your pick?
Yeah, Well, I don't see Jaden Maivia on here.
No, he is. He's got to be. He's like a major factor. Is he not?
I might have been. Even if you don't pick him, but Dylan Jiva just got there, dude. Like last week.
Yeah, man, that's a
I
wild
don't-
pick, dude.
I don't see Jaden Mavia on here.
Interesting.
Which
I
is
don't
really
see him on there
weird.
either.
Yeah, because Gage Roy's on there, which is like the walk-on quarterback, and then Dylan Jiba, who just got there. So that's really weird that they have, and Jack Stupin, who's like the super walk-on quarterback. Yeah, they have every USC quarterback except Jaden Mavia. That's
Ah,
super weird. I don't know. Is there a glitch in the system?
I don't know, man.
Maybe.
Jake Jensen, the holder's on here. He's the holder. He's like the sixth-string quarterback.
Interesting.
What is going on? That's wild.
Yeah, he's not on here at all. That's weird.
Huh.
Maybe.
All right.
I don't know why he's not on here. Did he get suspended today or something? Like,
Listen, dude, don't trust a website that sounds like a herpes medication, all right?
what is this website called?
Valtrex. I mean, Fantrax.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, but I don't know why he picked Dylan Jiba. But yeah, Jada's not on here. I think maybe he thought he was picking him. Maybe that's what they. That's weird. That's weird.
I'm not really sure where to go here.
It's weird. Dylan Jiba is the younger brother of Tristan Jiba, by the way, who played.
Yes.
Is it it's Gebbia, right?
Yeah.
Gebbia, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
He also is the one that replaced Miller Moss in high school at Bishop Alamini. So they're really close. They were neighbors growing up.
Interesting.
So that's all I can tell you about him. But he's not going to play much. He's actually listed as like a punter, kicker, and quarterback, like utility player. Like he might not even actually. He just got there like last week, seriously, from North Texas. He lost the job at North Texas, so he's definitely not going to play at USC.
All right, I think I'm gonna take Jaron Glover. What do you guys think? I feel the wide receiver position I'm so lost at right now. He's got number one potential, but he tried to enter the portal, but then he came back. He didn't have. I mean, he wasn't. I'm gonna go with him. Right? I don't like that pick either. I feel like I'm falling off, guys.
well, Mike picking up Adams from the original UMass.
The guy that was rumored to go to Ohio State for like 6 months there.
Yeah.
You Ohio kid.
Yeah, who knows what he'll be. But he did really well.
Oh,
at
wow.
UMass.
They liked him. Ohio State liked him. A lot of schools liked him.
Wasn't he? He's on the smaller side, isn't he? Isn't that what his issue? Was that the?
He's like
issue?
5'8", something.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's on the. He's on the.
He's
smaller
also not very fast either. He was never going to start at Ohio State. Cam Porter, he was the leading rusher last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good pick.
So yeah, you got a
They're gonna
leading rusher in the 18th round. I call that a win.
Yeah, he was top 10 from scrimmage last year in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I think you're right. I
think he was number 9 number 9 in the Big Ten played from scrimmage last year. And I mean, this is late, you know. He's better than the running back I picked ahead of him from Purdue, actually. The Love, he's better.
Yeah, that's probably fucking true.
Yeah. No, that's a good pick.
I didn't realize he was. Yeah. Whose name is Riley Reed Option? Oh, that's no, that's one of my homies' names in my my fraternity draft. Same name, same team.
That's funny.
I love that so much, dude. That shit's so funny. Riley.
Oh Lord.
I just realized the name was
Who's Riley Reed? 15 rounds. Who's Riley Reed?
I already knew who Perverted Justice was, so I didn't have to.
Oh yeah, dude. Perverted Justice, my favorite TV show.
Perverted Justice.
That's a good old To Catch a Predator reference for those that don't know. Dude, Max Clare, that's a good pick, dude.
I know he's hurt. I think he's coming back healthy.
Red zone target for sure. Fuck, dude, he might be the leading receiver for Purdue. After him, there's a huge drop off at tight end. That might be the last one of the ultimate starters. Rumor at training camp is too that he's lighting it up. So that's a great pick. You've been killing it lately. So big props. Yeah, Cam Porter, that's a good pick.
Let's go with another rule boy.
Okay. You know, we've talked about it before, right? Someone's going to pop in the rule offense.
Someone's
He's a good
going
coach. They're going to be improved. They may not be great, but they're going to be improved. There's no question about it. So, Donovan, what you think with this pick?
I'm gonna go with a weird pick.
Yes.
I love weird
You guys
picks.
will definitely talk about it.
Picks.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
That is interesting. That's interesting.
I was a big fan of him coming out of that same class too.
I bet you were. Him and
Yeah, but you know what?
He came in as a wide receiver though.
He's a tight end now, so
Right.
yeah,
exactly.
He used to be wide receiver. Moved him. They got another tight end that transferred in.
The boy from OU.
Kazmarek, my dog.
Yeah. So that might be a problem.
Yeah, Josh.
Might be a problem, but I don't know. I mean, I already had a tight end, so I just went kind of a name that I know really well. Yeah, honestly, like.
Best ball, baby. Here, the problem with Morris is that if he's benched and I'm getting 0 points, fuck me. But dude, I mean, he can run around, man. If I can, he's got opposite bye weeks as Will Howard. This could really help me. No, I noticed that no one commented on MJ Morris, so I'm a little upset. Yeah, I assume it's a nay. Is that what's happening?
I don't see how you don't pick Hudson Card, honestly.
Because MJ Morris runs.
Yeah. Well, then
I get
why
that.
not pick Alex Orji then?
Because MJ Morris can pass better than Alex Orji.
Yeah.
Because Alex Orji can't pass. What do you mean?
I just think with Card, you're going to get a guy that's going to throw over 20 touchdowns, about 3,000 yards. I mean,
yeah, but you lose points for interceptions.
Yeah, well, he throws a lot of interceptions.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I like Mike's pick of the other Iowa tight end. You know, that team's in the heights a lot.
Yeah.
And Hudson can run a little bit. He can run a little bit. Not as well as MJ and Orji.
No, they said he gained a lot of weight, though. Or a lot of good weight. They said he gained about 15 pounds of pure muscle.
Hudson Card?
Yep.
He needed to. He's always been so thin, so frail to me. Like, especially as a guy that's a 6-year senior or fifth year senior. Yeah.
The backup tight end, that's a good move. Luke Lachey's injury prone, right?
Yep.
So,
and they play two tight end sets all the time.
All the time. Now we'll see what happen with Tim Lester calling the shots, because I don't think he did too much of that at Western Michigan. But who knows? You play with what you have, and that's what they have. So, right. And then Brock takes Masiva. We talked about how talented he is from UCLA. The only question there is that offense and what they're going to do, where the focus is going to be, yada, yada, yada. So that'll be interesting.
Franklin's such a good pick, man.
Oh, you like that pick?
Yeah. For this round, yeah, for sure. About time Brock made a good pick. I'm kidding. I like that guy. He's great. Great. No, yeah, I like the pick. I mean, who's a quarterback?
Up already? Oh, man. We're cruising right along.
Brock heard me. He just texted me. That's funny.
What'd he say? He said, fuck you.
Yeah. I was messing with him. I really do like that pick. I just don't who's the quarterback for Illinois?
I think it's a
Altmaier.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Luke Altmaier. Yeah, he's still Luke Altmaier. He's solid. I remember him from Ole Miss. He was a top quarterback coming out of high school. Yeah. He's solid.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I'm really
that's the guy.
struggling here. I kind of want to that Dylan Wade kid from Maryland, the tight end. I know that he's really athletic and there's some hype around him. Obviously he's not the starter. It's between him and Will Kazmarek. Kazmarek. The problem with him is that he might not be the starter either, and I don't think he has the athletic upside as Wade. What are you guys thinking?
Go with your gut.
I'm gonna go with Wade.
There it is.
Might be some zeros on my board, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens.
We're getting into the obscure picks at this point in time now, aren't we?
Ooh, Ethan Garbers.
Okay.
Starter. Offense that should throw the ball. Well, I don't know, man. It's so hard to tell. But that's what I would do. Is I would throw the ball. Based off.
Yeah, I just there's like really only a couple quarterbacks left, so I just went ahead and took the third one just in case I have an injury or something like that. I may have 3 quarterbacks now, so
Makes sense.
Okay.
Brock said Alex Smith Jr. I'll take that. He said Garbers is Alex Smith Jr. I'll take that.
So wait, Chris, you have Miles Price and Miles Cross?
Killing it.
I like Cross better than Price, to be honest with you. I think he's got some potential there.
Sitting there at round 18. I mean, why not?
I mean, there's some potential there.
I had like 600 yards last year.
Yeah.
You might call me crazy here, and it's not going to be because of their defense, but there's a good chance this team right here is 7-0 coming into Ohio State. Looking at their schedule.
Oh shit!
There it is.
There's a good chance. There's a good chance they're 7-0 coming into the shoe.
Oh, that was a quick pick, Don.
Took the lemon party, huh?
Yeah, I was messing
Quick
around.
pick.
It's like you could read my mind because I was literally about to. I was like, I could go another wide receiver. I'm not as passionate this time around though, so. I'm trying to think. Let's see here. Let's check my roster out.
Oh wow, there's one glaring one on the board. I can't believe I just passed up on.
I can't take them.
I had this guy queued up too, and I went right by him.
You had him queued up.
Queued up, homie. Let me ask you guys this. I was sitting there watching and reading a bunch of interviews with the defense. Obviously, a lot of people interviewing Burke and them, and how do you guys think about the language that's being used when it's Will Howard's being described as his progression this offseason or during camp? I'm hearing a lot of language. I'm hearing is like, oh yeah, man, he's improved a lot. Like, and you got to think, hey, he's playing against arguably one of the best defenses in the country every day, and obviously you've seen his line of work too with playing at Kansas State. I don't think he's the most prolific passer there is.
No.
And I'm sure he's getting eaten up a good bit, and I think the defense is kind of like, hey man, we're pretty damn good, okay, but you're doing all right. Am I wrong to get that?
I think the big deal on Will Howard is that he got there and he was not in Ohio State shape. They wanted him in a better shape. I think he came in. He was, and that's typically when you talk to these guys, that's typically the biggest difference between Ohio State and other schools is that or just the Big Ten, the SEC, and other conferences is that the weight and conditioning program, right? Casimir. That's one of the reasons why they liked him. It's because he kind of already had a Big Ten body. So they said he lost like 15 pounds and he gained like 30 or some shit. And he looks better running and all that. So I think that's probably what they were looking out for the most. I don't know if he's gotten better as a passer per se. I'd be surprised. He's been in school for 5 years. This will be his 5th year or whatever. But I think he's probably more athletic and probably understands. There was also points in the spring where he looked lost. A lot of the rumors coming out of spring was that, hey, Devin Brown is the dude. And that's not really the case. After he spent all summer in the books. But we knew that. We knew he was a really intelligent guy. So it just took him some time to get it. So with his body transformation, Chip Kelly around the offense, which is going to need a more athletic quarterback, and him understanding the playbook and what to do. I mean, I did not want Will Howard as Ohio State's quarterback. There was a lot of guys I'd rather have. But now with all those things in play, I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten.
Okay. Alex Orji is off the board.
That's about right? We talked about him a little bit. It's about time. Michael took Brandon Inniss. I think Inniss is a good pick. He could be one of those guys that pops off, right? We're in the 19th round, and you're getting a guy that might pop. So
that's the idea at this point in time.
You hated Prosper. I had him as my top 5 Big Ten quarterbacks, and you said no way.
Yeah, in the 20th round.
Who's your number 1 quarterback again?
Will Rogers.
No. Oh, yes, sir. So you got Will Rogers, Childs, and Brosmer?
Yeah.
Brosmer's going to be a highest scorer a few weeks. I guarantee it. All right. So the problem with my defensive pick, by the way, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but Wisconsin has the same bye week as
Very nice.
But there's such a huge drop off, and I wanted a second defense because it's best ball, and they have 2 bye weeks. Both schools have 2 bye weeks. They only overlap on 1, and that 3 week or that 4 week or whatever, it's like the next best defense was like, dude, I don't fucking want them. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I'll just eat that week, dude. I wanted 2 defenses.
Can I ask you guys a question real fast?
Of course.
It's been begging to ask somebody this, and this is the perfect panel to ask. Next year, Will Howard gone. Who starts at quarterback for Ohio State next year? Brown, Sayin, or St. Clair?
Easy.
Sayin, right?
Yes.
Sayin.
Yeah.
That's what I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, St. Clair is awesome. When he got elevated to Rivals number 1 player the other day, number 1 overall player, not just quarterback.
Brock said Dylan Raiola starts for Ohio State.
Dude, you know what? Anything could happen, baby.
I mean, it could, but he's not there.
Yeah,
so
I would say.
No.
I think Devin Brown's going to end up transferring.
I think so too. I'm actually surprised he didn't transfer already.
There it is. Yeah.
Like it's more of a surprise that he hasn't made that move yet, because he has to see the other guys and what they're doing in practice and be like, I'm not as good as these guys.
Right.
And I'm actually surprised.
He probably didn't think Julian was going to come in after, with late.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that Keenholz is still sticking around too.
He hates Keenholz.
I don't hate Keenholz. I just think that he's just never going to play at Ohio State.
I don't hate Keenholz. I just think he's awful.
I never said that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's awful. I'm just saying he's not going to get an opportunity to play at Ohio State. He's going to have to go somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you never know. Miller stuck around and got his shot. He stuck around long enough where he's like,
I mean, that's
so that
true.
might be Devin Brown.
But you also
that's rare though.
Yeah. I mean, you also think about it this way. He stays with his initial Washington commitment, and they might not bring in Will Rogers to replace Penix, right? He might be the guy. So, because he'd be in the system for his 3rd year. So, I don't know, or obviously different system, but with the team for his third year. So it's hard to say. Like, but I just don't think he'll ever play. I just don't. Like, I don't see.
No. Hey, yeah, and Devin Brown was committed to USC at one point, so this is a cool
Right.
like. I wasn't a big fan of him, but like he's solid. But yeah, he'll probably play somewhere else next year. I agree with that. I just wanted to ask. I was just wondering what you guys thought about that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's hard to say because with the transfer portal, man, anything is possible. You know what I mean? Like in Ohio State, the right guy falls in their lap. They're not going to say no. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
God damn, boys.
One quick here.
Yep. I mean, Wallace is probably what? I would assume Wallace is their
Number
Z
2.
receiver. Fleming's probably their X. I need me another kicker.
That's fair. That's fair. So you took the USC backup kicker?
Is he the backup?
Yeah, the starter is
Yes.
Lance.
I said, really?
Hey, I was in a fantasy draft once and drafted Braxton Miller first overall for his ACL the next day. So,
yeah.
shit happens. So maybe you'll get lucky. And
Did somebody pick Lance already? Michael Lance?
you did, bro.
Me?
Did you not?
Did I?
Did I?
No, I didn't pick. I picked Gross.
Oh, you're right. Who took?
Yeah, I didn't pick. No, I talked about getting Lance because he can score a lot of points, but I didn't pick him.
Oh, Brock did.
Oh, Brock did. Yeah. Shout out Brock. That's a good pick. Yeah, he transferred from Georgia Southern over to.
Boy, there's that. And, Minnesota's kicker still sitting on the board too. What's his name? Dragon? Is that his name? Dragon?
Yeah. He's their punter too, right?
Picked up a backup kicker, and then there's a kicker named Dragon, number 99, sitting on the board.
I'm pretty sure he's their punter too. I can't remember now.
Oh Lord.
Dragon.
Oh, damn it.
I'm gonna look that up.
Boy, let's see.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with who I know.
No, I'm an idiot. He's just their kicker. I'm stupid. Quinn Joyner, dude, that's a great fucking pick. Well,
thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so that actually, you kind of narrowed it down for me. I'm not gonna lie, because I had him, and I was looking at Hyman from Northwestern, because Ty is transferred to Ohio, right? And they use 2 backs, and they use Hyman a little bit. He's the more speedy guy, so it's kind of between him. I was looking at him. I'm trying to. I was looking at Peoples too. I thought maybe, if injuries happen, long season. But I think I'm going to take Hyman. What do you guys think?
Not bad.
Wait, you said Joe Hyman? Okay, yeah. That's all right.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Tyus left, so he's their number 2 back.
Yeah.
Patel's a good one. I'm a little upset that he was still there because I'm a little upset. I'm not going to lie. That's a good pick. That's a really great pick. You waited and you waited and waited and waited and waited, and you still got a good kicker. Kind of pissed about it. Was really hoping you'd be the one that got stuck with the backup. But here we are.
It's a good pick. Josh, good pick.
Thank you.
I was gonna pick. I got a pick left. I ain't gonna tip my hat.
Yeah, I did that last time. I tipped my hat. Some dude stole my pick.
I mean, if I'm losing on the 22nd round pick, I deserve it.
That's a good pick. I thought about taking him earlier.
Yeah.
We don't know what this guy can do, really. He was very good at Ohio. there's rumors that he's going to start. I don't know if he necessarily is, but he's definitely going to play. So that's a good pick, Brock.
Yeah. Good.
There's no other tight ends left, really. I mean, there are, but we can all agree that that's the drop off. That's the defense I was looking at, and I was like, no, thank you. But I
Why?
feel like, huh?
I said, why?
What do you mean, why?
Don't pick USC's defense, man.
Well, I think that they're the best defense left now, but they weren't Wisconsin's.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, definitely the best defense left.
I think it was a good pick. I think Brock kicked it out of the park with his last two for sure.
Yeah, he did. He did a good job at the end there.
I don't know. There's a couple spots in my team where I'm like, why the fuck did I pick that guy? And there's a couple guys left where I'm like, man, I want to get him, but I don't think I should get him. I don't have much of a. I'm hoping that Hall doesn't see the field at all. Like,
Well,
what are you thinking about him? Tell me
they're
what you
talking
heard.
about how he could be RB3.
Okay.
So taking a
Well,
flyer.
Their RB3 last year got 300 rushing yards, I believe. So, and if Donovan Edwards gets hurt, so you basically did the same thing that I did with Mullings, right? You get the RB2 or 3 in your case. If he gets hurt with Donovan Edwards, who's always fucking hurt,
Right.
I got you.
Then he elevates. Then he elevates to 2, and you see his playing time increase significantly. Therefore, he'll get some carries because they're gonna have to run the ball.
All right, so here's what I'm thinking, boys. I'm thinking either James Peoples, just because I like to see. I'd like to see if he gets the ball in the second half of some garbage time games. TC Caffey style, that could be a bonus for me, right? Akron, West Michigan, Marshall. It's not crazy to think that he might have 20, 25 points to get in those games. But I also see Bangura from Minnesota on the board. That was a transfer from Ohio who I really wanted Ohio State to get because he's speedy. He's a great receiver out of the backfield. He does everything. But Minnesota likes to pound the ball. So I don't know. I don't see Bangura getting more than 5 points. Does that make sense in each game, right? What are you guys thinking?
Hard to say. Go with your gut. Always gut.
Well, Mike, you earlier in the season with when we were doing podcasts on the running backs expectations, you thought Peoples could get a few hundred yards rushing. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's the case because they're going to have to develop a RB3 because you're looking at 2 guys ahead of him in Judkins and Henderson that are most likely off to the NFL, and so I don't think Ryan Day is going to want to rely on having to go to the portal to get a starting running back next year. I think that they've recruited well at the position. Sam Williams-Dixon as well is there. They're saying that he's been looking pretty good in camp. So I think both backups are going to get some run, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see him get 300 to 400 yards, to be honest with you. He's not going to play later in the season, but he's going to play early on. And I just talked you into picking him.
Oh, that was my pick, man. Damn it.
Was it really? Are you being a dick?
No, it really was. That was like my go-to pick.
I always feel bad taking the homer picks at the end too, because it makes me feel like, am I taking this guy just because I'm more familiar with him, or is there a legit reason? But I'm very familiar with Bangura. Bangura was the other pick. I'm very familiar with his game, so I feel that makes me feel more comfortable about Peoples because I didn't just take Peoples because I didn't know the next guy on the board. About that because I don't think if we were playing if it wasn't best ball, Bangura might be a good flex option some weeks, but I don't think he's going to ever get more than 5 or 6, maybe 10 points. Peoples, I fully expect there to be 2 or 3 games where he gets me points and then he's done the rest of the year. I'm cool with that, right? You would rather have a guy get 20 points twice and not do shit the rest of the year, then get 6 points every year in best ball because I don't need that.
Yep, that's true.
Makes sense.
Oh boy.
Plus, if an injury happens, and God knows with Travion Henderson's history, that's not, unlikely, right?
Yeah, but you can stop talking about that right now.
I have brought it up 8 times in this podcast. I do apologize.
Jeez.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, that's a. Yeah, man, you took my guy right there.
Dude, that's payback, bitch.
Yeah,
Payback, bitch.
I was like, nobody's gonna pick him either. That's perfect because like he's the third string running back.
You know what's funny is that you thought that, and then at the beginning of the podcast, you're like, "Oh, you're gonna be a lot of Ohio State guys because you guys are homers." And then you were right, but it ended up biting you in the ass.
Yeah, it did.
You were right. I'm a homer.
Homer picks.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, there's not a lot of running backs that I like.
There's not a lot of anything.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna pick hold on, let me get him. I know he's here somewhere. I'm just gonna be a fucking asshole.
What the fuck? Why is he on there?
Yeah, he's on the Texans.
Why is he on this? But why did you take him? You can't cut.
But Maiavia's not on here, and he's not even in the. He's on
the Texans, right?
Is he? I don't know if you know. I don't know if he's anywhere, dude.
I thought he got signed by the Texans. I could be wrong though. I don't know.
We did it.
So real quickly because it's 11:30 at night, so we got to shut this off.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised Dante Moore didn't get picked because we talk about our love for him all the time, right? I thought maybe someone might take him just by pure chance that Dylan Gabriel gets hurt, right? No. Give me a win.
He's the best backup for sure. Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised nobody took Bangura, but you guys already know about that. We talked about that. I'm kind of surprised no one took Nair from Nebraska. He was like their number 2 receiver. So I'm kind of shocked. I guess no one likes him, but I didn't either. I'm kind of shocked no one took the backup tight end from Penn State. Big, tall guy, got some play last year. Penn State likes to use 2 tight ends. And I'm kind of surprised no one took the Rutgers defense. So that's kind of where I was at with the rest of them. I can say that because there's no add or drops or trades or anything. You guys see anything or any craziness from the draft or people that we missed or anything like that?
I mean, I guess Foster from Michigan State and then Hudson Card.
Yeah, Hudson Card's surprising because he starts, right? We saw a backup quarterback go.
Who's the freshman from that Rutgers got? Not the freshman, the receiver from Rutgers.
The receiver from Rutgers. Check my list here.
Oh, Miller?
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah. It's interesting. There's a couple guys left out there, but guess we won't have to worry about that, boys, because it's best ball time. All right, you want to shut it off? We're 2.5 hours in. I know Michael's hating it.
Yeah, let's go home to bed.
All right, you want to shut us down, brother?
All right, sounds good. Well, I appreciate everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Donovan. Thank you, Brock, for doing this. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, thank you guys. We'll do weekly updates on the podcast. Just quick updates as to how each team is doing, et cetera, et cetera. So that'll be fun. It'll be a good time. We'll really enjoy it. Once again, we appreciate your time. And go Bucks.
Go Bucks. Let's shut down.